Hey, welcome to an early morning edition of the Blackout Tales podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
and we are live on a Saturday morning, ready to get some podcasting out of the way.
Yes.
Okay, we gonna get it started early and often. The official weapon of the show is the folding chair, and the unofficial sport,
Bullet ball.
and bullet ball extreme. And today's episode is a feedback episode. That's where we take and consider the things that you had to take and consider that we had said throughout the week, and you give your feedback to us and we respond to it. So it's just a nice little sit down reflection on the week, and we get right into it. Okay, you can leave feedback. Look in the show notes. That's all the ways you can leave feedback, right up in there. Oh, and also don't forget Pod Jam 3 tickets are on sale, and they're in the show notes as well. I believe we perform on Friday. For those that are like, I'm just coming one day, I believe our day is Friday. I'm looking for verification on that. I've reached out to make sure, so I got a couple people that emailed me to be sure. I'm checking on it, but I've talked to JL, and we both think it's Friday. So as soon as I know for sure, I'll let y'all know. For those that can only do the one day, no problem. And any other show notes? No, that's really about it. Let's go ahead and get into the show. With the first people, we want to shout out the people that donated to us.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who just, out of the kindness of their damn hearts, say, we just want to put some money on this. We like what y'all doing. We think y'all doing a good job, and we don't want nothing in return except, I'm going to give you a shout out. So let's do that.
May I have your attention? You are now listening to Charlotte's own Rod and Karen. We welcome the good folks who tithe to the Black Guy Who Tips.
Today's a new day.
That's right. New guap, new can't stop, won't stop. Tabitha M, Corey A, Alexis H, Wonga from Down Under, Marlon B. Yes, Marlon B. Tiffany B. The B's came together this week. We love to see the B's sitting together. Palmetto Stone Magic, YR Design, Kyle K, David C, Jasmine J, James C. That's everybody this week. Thank you, everybody, for coming and putting something on this and making sure y'all don't get no commercials. Oh, wait, those don't make sure we don't have commercials. I meant 5-star reviews. Will we have commercials?
Will we not?
Well, I kind of spoiled it. We know commercials. Somebody left one.
Okay, I'm about to say that is the question because I didn't know.
Yeah, no. I've been cheating. I had to do the research to do the show.
I've been cheating.
So I found out ahead of time. So I left a review.
No problem.
Subconsciously, I think I leaked that into the early thing.
It's early. That early.
It's early, guys. I'm not perfect. Let's see. Shay159 says, hopping mad. Just had to say thank you to both for your politics till we get mad episode where Karen roared. Truly, her passion came through, and she gave voice to so many of us walking around in a constant state of rage. So good to know we are not alone. Thank you, Rod and Karen. We love you both. Keep up the great work. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was, a lot of people got a lot of feedback on that episode throughout the week. A lot of comments and stuff like that. Good and bad. Some people did not like some of the stuff that was said on that episode. But you know how it is. Fuck them. But we'll get into it as we do the feedback for it. But yeah, so many people were. Matter of fact, I was listening to the idea of podcast with Mike and Bossy, my good friend. And they started off the show, and Mike had heard that episode, and he was talking about Karen on there for the first probably 8 minutes of the show, and I listen to them every week, so I didn't know they were going to talk about us at all. But it was, but yeah, man, I think it resonated with people in a way that this is why I'm so happy that we do the show we do, man. You're not going to hear what we said anywhere but here.
Agreed.
Period.
Agreed, because the thing is, the things that I have to say, and I know I'm a very loud person and things like that. That's quote unquote. That's not good radio. Like to vent like that and to scream like that and to
to wake our neighbors up upstairs. Right.
It's it's quote unquote not good radio. But the thing is, we have the ability to do it how we want to do it. And also, I am so sick and tired of hearing everybody else's rage consistently. But, I'm supposed to be a good soldier. I'm supposed to fight on. I'm supposed to tell y'all right when y'all wrong. I'm supposed to coddle your feelings. Everything else supposed to be first. And also, there's different forms of rage. And I think once you tap into certain forms of rage, people just get scared, and because of childhood drama, whatever it may be in their lives, it's an automatic fear, it's automatic panic, it's automatic.
But people don't express that kind of anger in public, just in general.
Right.
Like if you were on a train and you did that, like they call the police. So that's, and then of course it's not quote unquote good radio. So, that you gotta be calm, you gotta be
and particularly being a woman too, because it's
right.
People already have their stereotypes about how women are just supposed to when you fuss at your kids, you fuss at your husband, you fuss, but you don't really let out your rage, and people underestimate rage comes out in different forms. Other people have rage too, but what they do, they go online, they do other things, they do drugs, alcohol, like it's gonna come out one way or another, good, bad, or indifference. That feeling that you have in your soul, that despair, it is going to come out one way or another. You're gonna have to express it.
All right, let's get into these comments then. And thank you for that 5-star review. The first episode we did was 3208 as a married couple. We got 3 comments on our website. Abia says, I never knew about Rod talking about white friends and how therefore he can't be racist. I used to do that all the time. That was fun times for me. Whenever I would be on Twitter or something, I'd say something about white folks, somebody would get offended, and I'd be like, I can't be racist. I have white friends, and I would post pictures of me and some white people. It was good times. Perfect. Now you can even say you have European friends, people from where white people were invented. Oh, you counting us as friends, Appia? You is that officially what you're saying right now? You sure about that? You're not gonna take that back first time I say something you disagree with?
Right? Are you gonna end the friendship?
Come on now, you put me in a vulnerable place. People could listen to you for years. You say one thing and they be like, "Fuck you forever." I don't need that kind of drama in my life.
Forever.
I hope this humorous remark is true. I know humans came from Africa and came to Europe. In my thoughts, they turned white there for environmental reasons, because how else could this have happened? The white skin has only one upside as far as I can say, and that's the ability to produce more vitamin D from sunlight, and Europe has less of it. Also, it's cold often, so you wear lots of clothing often. Vitamin D is obviously racist. Well, I will say that is exactly what the hoteps used to tell me in college, is where white people came from. That somehow they came from the Caucasus Mountains, and that's why they call Caucasians.
Not the Caucasus Mountain.
Or the Carcass Mountains, like that one dude would say, because y'all Caucasians. But
Lord.
Yeah, that's what I learned, and I never double checked. I'm gonna be honest. I just was like, sounds cool. What else happened? Dr. Yakub invented us in the lab.
Right. Can you sell me this black soap and incense? That's all I came here for. I didn't come here for the rest of the foolishness.
2 African lion
come on,
packs of incense, please.
Sir, you're fucking up the transaction.
And after the afterlife talk, no, I wouldn't talk to park missionaries, likely because I don't think they want a conversation. They want to teach me. The only reason to do it would be to practice my selling, argumenting, and sell them on critical thinking about the right questions, but for what? Yeah, I've never been interested in those conversations.
I'm old. I'm not wasting my time.
I remember one time at the basketball court, this nigga who made the worst life decisions in the world. He was a very handsome dude. Like he never wore a shirt. He had like 12-pack abs, and he had like these green eyes and all this stuff. I'm telling y'all this because what I'm saying is, I think that affected his journey through life. Meaning, a lot of people had let bullshit slide because he was an attractive man,
good.
And he started spitting some shit to me about some Jesus or something, and then he started arguing with these white boys about they Jesus. Man, the way I Homer Simpson out in that conversation, I was like, I'm not listening to three dummies talk
Talk to
religion
each other.
when we supposed to be playing basketball.
Right,
I gotta
this
go.
Is not the time for that. Yes.
Sean says, I live in Japan where most people still use cash. There's a reason pickpockets target Japan tourists. I carry cash, but I always have the minimum amount of change because I don't need all that extra weight in my pocket. Okay. Yeah, I didn't realize Japan still mess with the cash like that. Or that pickpockets was still out there like that. All the videos I see from people in trains and stuff, y'all be so smushed up on each other. It seems like a pickpocket could make a good ass living out there. EVE says, I always carry a handful of change just in case, but I mostly use my debit card to pay for stuff. At some point, merchants may stop taking cash, although that may be a problem for people without bank accounts. I'm sure there's a workaround to the penny issue, but this administration sucks and it won't get solved anytime soon. Yeah, we can't be the only people to do away with the penny, but America, we do shit before it's ready. All right, let's see what we got on YouTube. Oh wait, the poll. Do you keep pocket change on you? Yes, 69%. No, 31%. So that's the poll. Which man, that's a high percentage, I think. I think especially now when everybody trying to make everything cashless. That's a lot. We got one comment on YouTube. It says, I see ICE all the time at the Marriott and Hilton hotels I stay at. Yeah, and Hilton put out some type of statement that let us know that they wasn't really meaning to be about it.
Like, I think they disfranchised that hotel, didn't they?
It's a franchisee, and they just let us know that this is the franchise. Like, this is not a decision that we made.
Right.
This is just something that's happening with the franchise or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's not nearly as
That just mean that owner stood up for something, not the company itself, right? And it's funny when they want to separate themselves and when they don't. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to like cost and responsibility and shit like that, that's a separate entity. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, people go, bitch, I'm at a McDonald's. I don't give a fuck who owns it. And McDonald's will look you in your eye and be like, you can't sue us. You need to sue that franchisee.
Well, honestly, Karen, I feel like it gets into something that we'll get into later about the Roy Wood Jr. comments, but this is what happened when you let people be in charge.
Agreed.
These corporations aren't bold. They're not.
They've never been
They're
bold.
not activists. They're not interested in joining the resistance, quote unquote. No. A lot of these corporations is like, either A, these people are in charge and we're gonna directly deal with them and do whatever it takes to so they taking bribes, then we bribing, they don't like DEI, well then no DEI. They're not brave. And then the other thing is, so best case scenario is they go, worst case scenario is that they actually actively agree with this administration and do everything they want. Second worst case scenario is that they are just like, I don't want no smoke. I ain't on nobody's side, which is a lot of times what they do, right? That's what this seemed like to me was, y'all were getting good PR from the type of people who think ICE is bad, which is a lot of people for the record. And they was like, actually, no, because the administration might see this and target us in some type of way, and we don't want that. Or they might take away their business from places we do let them stay, and we have been letting them stay, and we haven't been saying shit. So we just don't even want in this fight. We like Cracker Barrel. We just trying to avoid that. And they successfully avoided it. I just think that's what happened. A lot of people are making quote unquote business decisions right now because they looking around and seeing who in charge. And they like, America actually, like, y'all might be online in a circle that sound like, oh, we hate Target and we hate these people and we don't watch the NFL. That's cool, but the numbers show that that's not true for most of y'all. And so we just gonna go towards the numbers because y'all let this be in charge.
Agreed. And the thing is, you can't have it both ways. I think a lot of times when people get online and they get in their social circles and they talk in their groups on and offline, they are under the illusion and the delusion that that's how everybody feels, and that's not a true statement. And they want to make other people do these things because it's quote unquote the right thing to do. But maybe it's just the way I've raised a company, and I'm trying to find you a company, you sell me a product, I give you cash to end. That's how I've always felt about companies. I've
Right.
never said a company had to have a moral stance. I've never said a company had to agree or disagree. In fact, I don't give a fuck who you voted for, where you put your money. You got a product I want and I buy it. That's the end of the transaction. But you have a lot of people that were raised in a lie that the company is supposed to morally support you and supposed to be on your side. And it's a motherfucking company. It's a goddamn company. It doesn't owe you anything but your ass show up. Here's your money. End of transaction, type of thing. And, I had to learn that the hard way. And once I learned it, it changed my whole philosophy on how I view businesses. And this is why, yes, you get mad at business for what they do and things like that. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. And businesses do things that make you upset, but at the same time, they are not moral. They are not ethical.
I think also like that's what companies sold people. And then the other element is social media. Like there's a lot of peer pressure and bonding off of what we don't like, our shared dislike. So I don't like so and so, that means you're a cool person. I don't like this, that means you're a cool person. And I'm not saying it morally one way or the other, because there's people that are like, I don't like the woke Star Wars, and I'm not watching Star Wars because it's too many black and brown and lesbians and shit getting in there now. And people are like, yeah. And then there's other people that are like, I'm not watching Star Wars because Disney owns it and Disney is in bed with the Jews or something like that, and they not watching it. I'm not watching it because they got rid of the DI program. The big point is that conversation is not about Disney. The actual conversation is about who you're kicking it with online. And I think Hilton just didn't want to be a part of that. They was like, actually, this one owner might be doing this, but we're gonna make it absolutely clear that we don't give a fuck. If you got the money, you can stay here, even if you're the fucking the New Day Gestapo or slave catchers or whatever.
And also the thing is, I understand people being mad and upset, but at the end of the day, your anger online means nothing when you don't go to the poll and get results. I want results. I don't care about what y'all saying and crying and wishing they would do and wishing they would stand up.
Right.
The time to stand up was at the poll.
Yeah,
the time to get the results that you wanted was then. After the fact, I'm not going to say it's pointless, but the results are already done, and there's nothing else you can do until it's time to vote again.
I think so many people just don't realize that the elections matter more than just the individual people and their morals. It just matters because you're telling society which direction to lean.
Yes.
And people are mostly social creatures. When they see what's in charge, they feel allowed to be something. When Barack Obama's in charge, people felt allowed to be a little more hopeful, a little bit more towards their best self, to want a little more. When George W. Bush or Trump is in charge, people feel empowered to be their worst selves. It's not that, it's just the way it is. All right, let's see. So did we get anything on Patreon? Because I think I just did YouTube. I don't think we got a Patreon comment on this one, but let me just double check.
Yeah, just in case.
Sorry, it's a little weirder to check the Patreon thing. Right. As a married couple was entitled.
Yeah,
this
because it's weird. You have to kind of almost
you have to
double-click.
view the post instead of. Okay, no comments on this one. All right, cool. And I did the poll already. We did. Did we do YouTube for this one? I think we did YouTube for this one. Let me just double check. I think we did one YouTube for this. Man, everything's in so many places now. So Patreon, YouTube. Oh, Spotify. That's the one. Ha. That's what I meant to check. Let's see if we got anything on Spotify from these audience from the audience. Comments. Yeah, we got 2 comments. Glad Rod found Randall's soul website. Yeah, we over here burning that incense, player. Cheyenne says, y'all my favorite / top podcast, followed by The Read, and The War Report is third. Thank you for introducing us to The War Report. Janelle, James, 3 Guys On, and many more. Thank you, Chanel. Appreciate it. Those are all good people. And speaking of which, The War Report should be on this Sunday at 10 a.m. for those that watch live. Looking forward to that.
Me too.
I know Gastor is going through some stuff personally, so he may or may not be here.
Right.
But if Shalay was here, we're gonna roll with that as well, because Shalay was hilarious and amazing too. So we'll see you guys soon with them. All right, that's it for that episode. Let's play some music so we can get some money. Okay, guys, we'll be right back.
Stopping you working.
Yes, well,
How's it coming along?
it's harder to write than all the others, Mudge. You noticed?
Just that you seem puzzled every now and again.
That's it, yes. Puzzled. Puzzled. It's a funny word.
Man, it took 35 seconds for the beat to start. That's different. It's called Puzzle by DJ Jaffa. All right, let's get into the next episode. 3209. We got Home Alone at Home. We got 9 comments on this one. This is like I think the biggest episode of the week when it comes to the comments. Lots of comments. People felt ways. Obvious says, honest question. If someone asked about what the Democrats did wrong in 2024, you could say there's been enough said about the past. Let's look forward. There's no need to go there, is it? This way you shut it down, but don't get in trouble. Yeah, I mean, that you could absolutely say that. I think maybe more people should say that, but you know, people also have their thoughts, like their Monday morning quarterback stuff, and yeah. By the way, I thought about Rod's question. While some things stick, my theory: celebrities, they feel they are peers to each other somehow, no matter the politics. Senior says, first, the poll needs a third option. I don't give a damn. Okay, what was the poll? The poll was, are you a Tom Brady / Alex Earl relationship hater? Yes or no? Well, I feel like no covers I don't give a damn. Okay, you know what I mean? Like, if you don't give a damn, hit no. Second, Karen, I appreciate you giving us the full expression of your emotion on politics till we get mad on this episode. It literally brought me to tears because it is the first and only time I've heard anyone truly express the amount of rage and sadness and utter disappointment I've felt since the election. Everyone in the media, even in our government, is going forward like it's business as usual.
Right.
While the current occupant of the White House and his administration literally tear apart our country and comb back hard-fought rights. It's infuriating. But your rant was a reality check, and I wish more people could hear it because I swear folks are in a daze or something. This shit is happening right in front of our salad, and no one is reacting appropriately, in my humble opinion. Agreed.
I 100% agreed, and it makes you think that you are crazy. It fucks up with your reality. Because you can't be like, I can't be the only person to see this bullshit that's happening and everybody acting like this is the new normal, and it's motherfucking not.
I think the part that makes me the most angry isn't just the like what's happening, it's the reaction to what's happening. Because the reason that I think so many of us were so adamant about, listen, it needs to be Kamala Harris, you need to get off of your high horse about needing the perfect candidate, is because we knew that y'all would react like this. We knew that y'all weren't gonna be like doing anything major to disrupt this. Y'all were just gonna sit back and be like, well, I'm gobsmacked. Did you see what he did today? Oh, wow. Oh, they're just arresting reporters now. Oh, man, did you see? They're just taking people off the streets and sending them to other countries. I think that's the part that is infuriating, because it's like y'all acted like y'all wouldn't be those people. Y'all acted like, well, we won't get what we want, but we'll be fighting so hard against Trump. And it's like, no, you've been bending over for this dude the whole time. So I think that's when I get mad. It's not even, I knew what he would do because he was open about saying what he was going to do.
Yes.
But I also knew the reaction to it, and it wouldn't be sufficient, and it hasn't been. It's been a lot of people moving more to the right while claiming that it's about how progressive they are. It's been a lot of people ceding things and giving things up. I think with the Roy Wood Jr. thing, the part that is disappointing to me is not like I said, I expect that answer from anyone working at CNN. No offense to Roy, but I just think that's the answer. You don't get to work there if you don't say that. I really do believe that.
I agree.
And And there's, and I know it's bigger than him. It's like Jimmy Kimmel. People think Jimmy Kimmel's a hero because he makes jokes about Trump, but Jimmy Kimmel says a lot of stuff that sounds like what Roy just said. Like, that's the right answer, quote unquote. Jon Stewart, same. That's the answer you're gonna get from those people every single time. You're not gonna get any of these comedians like, man, fuck them people. Fuck them if they listen to the show. Fuck them if they don't. Blah blah. Anyway, my point being, that answer is a move to the right. That's not a move to the left. That answer is we need to consider these bigots in a way to bring them in through love and acceptance and tolerance that they don't have, so that hopefully they'll learn to have love, tolerance, and acceptance for us. That's a move to the right. We did not get this move to the left from Kamala losing that everyone was saying, that we're going to be twice as progressive. No, we're not. And that was what I knew, and that is what is happening socially, morally, and legislatively, and that's infuriating.
Yeah, and also it's one of those things where y'all act like we don't have a track record. You did it the first time. What made me think the second time was going to be even better?
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, you can't trick me. We've been through this, and y'all sat back and said nothing the whole first time he was in office. And so guess what? You don't get doubly quiet the second time because he learned lessons too. Everybody think that nigga dumb. He's not stupid. He learned lessons too, and he's adjusted accordingly. And he's going to make sure a lot of the shit that he promised people he was going to do, he going to do.
Ramsey D. Jenkins says 5 stars because I'm listening again. I agree with Cindy about a third option. Nature Boy says, hi, Rod, Karen. I went back and watched the entire Roy Wood Jr. interview so that I had greater context of what was being said. Yeah, thank you, man. I still haven't done that. And I said during the shows multiple times I haven't watched the whole clip, so I actually could be missing some context because, social media, you have to be very careful about these clips. They doctor them. They cut them. They try to get as much rage as possible. And, that was the platform tweeting that out, meaning however they doctored or manipulated that clip, they knew that they wanted the engagement, and they'll set you up. Like I've seen it myself, where it's just like, we just gonna put out this one sentence or whatever, and then people are like, oh, what the fuck? And then when you go see the whole conversation, it's like, oh, that's right. That person's not a coon. They didn't lose their fucking mind. They just took the worst part of the clip, put that out, and was like, that's what he had to say. Come check out the show. Roy talks about being a touring comedian through red states in middle America, so he's able to connect with the person that voted for Trump and not necessarily the MAGA guy. The Trump supporter that votes for Trump because they fell for what he was selling them. He gives an example of the cold worker and not the polls and the charts of the Republican behavior. There's a lot of density to what he says, and I don't think I do it justice. Like I said, I know Roy. I've talked with Roy. I've seen Roy talk. I've followed him for a long time. That man is a very thoughtful dude, and he's not some coon or some sellout. Mm-mm. And we'll get to the YouTube comments in a second because I had a couple haters on YouTube come at me, but I feel like I talked about that conversation that Roy had and the macro of it in a way that I everything I said I stand by. Everything I said I'd say to his face, because that's one of the reasons I do the show the way I do the show. I wouldn't be calling like someone, like I said, DM me and told me to call him a coon and add him to the February countdown and all this shit, and that set me off a little bit because I was like, that's not how that works. You disagree with your homie on one thing and then all of a sudden fuck them, burn it for what? Tap dance for y'all? That's not even true. If I was burning everybody I disagree with on that one talking point, I would have basically zero friends, because most people kind of think that way of, man, we got to do something to get these people back because it's a numbers game. That's at the end of the day, almost everybody is pitching some sort of, we need to get more people by giving them some sort of acknowledgement, and they think that's what's going to get us out of this. So anyway, I just thought that was funny that that's the angle that I was taking from it, which was, hey man, I can disagree with this on its face, give y'all all the reasons that I disagree with it, talk about how I passionately feel the other way, but it ain't really about destroying Roy Wood Jr. or calling him out his name or some shit. That's not what this segment or our show is about.
Agreed.
Especially off of one thing. It's not like this is Stephen A. Smith who's been saying years of bullshit about black people and our culture and politics. This isn't Candace Owens. This isn't Andrew Schultz. So it was just kind of interesting. Y'all will see it when we get to YouTube, but it was kind of interesting to see some of the response to this. But I appreciate Nature Boy going to listen to the whole thing, because I still need to do that, because I was like, yeah, more than likely you're gonna leave a Roy Wood Jr. Interview feeling like he's thoughtful, empathetic, smart, well researched, like, because he is those things.
Yes, he is.
Also, a major part of the interview that gets left out of the clip is at the end, where he says maybe logic isn't necessarily going to be the weapon. It might need to be love. And then from that, you hope they find some logic. Oh, they cut out and you hope from that they find some logic. So, yeah, so they kind of set him up. Because keep in mind, that's the people who did the interview that sent that clip out. And I'm telling you, that happens a lot, man. That was one of the points I was making in that discussion, which is, man, I'm fucking sick of them setting, especially black folks up, but basically any like progressive / liberal person, they really set us up with that question every time, which is like, well, what do the Democrats need to do as the ones who actually fucked this up? And so the premise is not hey, the default is these folks just wanted to vote for this bigotry. The default is, well, somehow they wanted to vote Democrats and Democrats fucked them up until they actually ended up voting the wrong way and made a mistake. These white folks don't even know they made this mistake. They just woke up the next day like, oh, did I vote for Donald Trump a third time? What did the Democrats do to make me do this? Like, and so that premise is already fucked up. There's no good answer that's going to come out of that other than rejecting the question. And in this current climate, if you reject the question, you put yourself on a billboard, because they really target people now as like, oh, look at this. He works for CNN and he said he don't want no Republican voters. They came after Jasmine Crockett. They came after, was it Amy Klobuchar, whoever, I forget who did the interview where she was like, I'm not going after Trump voters. And it was like, she should step down. She shouldn't run for governor of California. They are setting people up with these loaded questions where if you answer honestly and go, I think them people ain't coming back. Like, I think I have to give up on those people. You can't give up on those white folks in America and continue to work and continue to at least unabated and continue to do stuff in these spaces. CNN has a directive from the very fucking top to be more Republican. Period. That's why Abby Phillips is bringing that motherfucking white dude on. That's basically his show, and then Abby Phillips' name is on it. I forget his name, but Scott Jennings. That's Scott Jennings' show, and then she's got her name on it. Period. I don't give a fuck what she says, because at the top, someone's making a decision, and like, we need Scott Jennings bad enough that we'll basically say, this black woman show with Scott Jennings, and then Scott comes on and says a bunch of racist, Republican, conservative shit, because that's what we want out in the world. It's bigger than those people. And so I think that's why I gave a little bit of space for that, because the nuance is what our show is about. It's not just piling on. Also, as a major part of the interview gets left out, he says, like, this is a Care Bear episode. He said they cut off that end, so it ended with "it might need to be love," which is like it's a Care Bear episode. He at least revisits the idea that you need to come back to some logic to move forward. Yeah, and even with that, even with everything you just said, even in that context, there's still people that are gonna find that answer lacking. That's okay. That's the world. There's people listening to us every day that don't like the shit we got to say. And they go listen to another podcast and they like that. Or they go listen to another podcast and they don't like what they got to say. And then they come here. Like, we all giving our opinions. I'm not in a position of power to change this shit, but I can't give my opinion. And I 16 years in, I'm totally comfortable saying this is where I stand on this, and whatever pushback we get, you know?
I 100% agreed, because the older I get, with all the, like I said, all the craziness going on, I refuse to allow people around me to distort my reality.
Exactly. On the other hand, I think that every criticism you have regarding the attacks on Democrats and Kamala Harris campaign is fair. In my opinion, at this point, it feels like sore loser talk. I also, not us, but the people that keep going, she should have did this. I also think your greater opinion that you can't love the hate out of bigots, racists, and misogynists is also true. They are who they are, and trying to coddle them is a waste of energy. Agreed, yeah. Like I said, even on with the additional context, I'm still like, that's one opinion on how to do it. I could be wrong. It could be you gotta love them and they can, but I ain't doing it. So,
and that's
so
why I'm
somebody else
like,
got to do that work. I
Yeah.
hope that y'all are right and that it works, but I don't believe it is. I don't think anything in our history proves that is right.
Right, I'm like, use all the tactics. If it work, it work. All I care about when it's time to vote, we voting the same. That's all I care
Yeah,
about.
I just don't believe it. I don't think that'll happen. And people are fine to disagree with it. That's life. But as I told y'all, especially this year, I'm not wasting a lot of time disagreeing with everybody on the left. I don't give a fuck. Are you still voting for whoever the Democratic candidate is in your city and local district? Are you still voting for the Democratic presidential candidate? Are you still okay? Then I don't really have a lot of shit to say to you.
No,
like,
I
go ahead,
don't.
believe whatever the fuck you want to believe. I don't care how you arrive there. It's just we got a lot more work to do than parse out. Is it $15 minimum wage or $16 minimum wage? Like, hopefully we get enough people in charge that we can get it to 16 or whatever. You know, like,
Right.
if we get enough people in charge, we'll get all the pie in the sky shit. But right now we don't have enough people, so we just arguing for no fucking reason.
Agreed.
If anything, I suggest the listeners watch the entire interview. I was scared I was gonna have to bail on Roy, but he is thoughtful and nuanced as usual. Thanks, Rod and Karen. Appreciate the show. Glad you wrote that, Nature Boy, because I think in this sound bite world, most people don't go beyond the sound bite, and most people are willing to just throw somebody away after one thing, especially misinformation or doctored information. And that's what it's designed to do. I'm sure that I forget who interviewed them. It's like Rolling Stone. I forget whoever interviewed them, but I'm sure that they not fitting to put out no corrections or longer clips. They'd be like, yeah, fuck it, we got what we wanted. Sean says, I recognize Tom Brady because he was a quarterback for the Bucs for our second Super Bowl. Don't know much else about him. He seemed competent as a quarterback, but a bit of an arse off the field. I did briefly look up that Alex person. She is young enough to be his daughter, but otherwise, nothing about her seemed interesting. She is 7 years older than his son. I know a lot, but for everything else, there's the internet. All I will say is while they seem to be rather bland personalities who are only talked about because they are somewhat famous, they are both old enough to make their own bad decisions, so who cares? He also said the new French Looney Clooney started a witch hunt against Biden, but put the most qualified candidate for presidential office ever to run in an impossible situation, and yet she still almost won. Now they are literally making shit up on both sides of the aisle to throw at Harris and establishment Democrats. While I understand that most people are not like me, they do not respond to logic and facts. You are still going to need a combination of logic, facts, legislation, and love to improve the voting situation. By legislation, I mean that one reason that a lot of younger voters got tricked into believing that Trump was an accomplished businessman, he's not, and not a completely bigoted and that fool with an adult brain that has gotten worse with age was because of the sane washing in social media. The algorithms were designed to funnel the 10 seconds he seemed reasonable rather than the 2 hours, 59 minutes, and 50 seconds that he was being himself. I think it also just depends on what algorithm you're on, because I wasn't experiencing that, but I mostly wasn't experiencing that because I think I am very much in a circle of people that don't fuck with Trump, so it's not sending me here's 10 seconds of Trump sounding the same. It's sending me here's him standing here while YMCA plays 5 times on the stage and he looks lost, you know. Most people do not even remember that he took America's strongest economy ever and brought it into a recession. And the ability of social media companies to manipulate perceived reality needs to be addressed in a way that supports First Amendment rights while preventing the type of election interference that we have seen over the last couple of decades. Yeah, honestly, that's a great point too, because having the social media companies on board with him definitely helped him. I mean, there's the reason that the people that own Instagram, TikTok, Facebook were all at his inauguration, and you know, social media has been such a huge part of our lack of a shared reality. So that's a great point.
And we're one of the few countries that allow this, because
Right.
when you go to other countries, they be like, no, y'all are not to interfere with the election. Y'all like they are very, very, very strict on that shit. They was like, no, y'all can't fuck with the populace. And guess what? A lot of these companies, they in these other places too.
Yeah, we're only getting stuff banned in America sometimes because other countries stepped up. Like Twitter had a thing where you could ask the AI to put women in bikinis and shit like that, like non-consensually. So like a woman takes a regular picture, it's like, hey, Grok, put so-and-so in bikini, right? And it was getting, people were getting very upset by that stuff.
Right.
And so in America, nothing was going to be done about it, and it didn't matter. People complained, and people you could leave Twitter, whatever. And then I want to say it was, I forget what country it was, but one of the countries in like Europe said we're going to ban Twitter because this is, we're not going to allow this in our country.
Allowed to do
and then all of a sudden they took that off. Like all of a sudden
they took the feature off for everybody.
But they would have never done that in America.
Oh,
they would have never done that in America. If there was a way for them to only have a Twitter America, our shit would be just Nazis the whole way through,
of course,
everywhere. But because but my point is, it would be even worse.
Yes, it would be
if it was only for America. It's already terrible. All right, back to these comments. He says, by legislation, I mean that I said he did it. Too long didn't read. Roy Wood Jr.'s comments were slightly out of context, but also reflect on a portion of what needs to be done. Ian ran apologies to Rod Throat. That was a lot. Evie says, Karen, I love you. Your passion is one of the reasons this continues to be my favorite podcast. You are on fire, and I agree with everything you said. I'm angry, too, to the point of tears, but I'm going to take my anger all the way to the voting booth.
Right.
Those two losers in La Culturistas couldn't wait to tear down a black woman. I'm still of the belief that Kamala didn't lose because more people voted for Dump. She lost because more people sat out from the last election, and that's an issue in Texas as well. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of people did not vote.
They're trying to discourage people from going to the polls, and I think with the right strategy, Jazz's team can ignite some new voters to get out to the polls. Fuck those two creeps. Here's my thing too, because I just want to be consistent. The Jasmine Crockett thing is basically the Mom Donnie thing, but for Texas. Meaning, this won't actually affect me personally. I don't live in this district. I don't live in Texas. I obviously think I would like to see a Democrat win there, but the amount of know-it-all passion that you're seeing from people who don't live in Texas and have no dog in the fight,
right?
That is a internet concoction. That is a social media algorithm concoction. It doesn't matter that I like Jasmine Crockett. It doesn't matter that I like Mom Donnie. I don't live there.
Right.
The voters will decide. You having a podcast in New York or wherever they film and being like, don't give money to her, guys. Like, nigga, you're not down there. What the fuck are you talking about? You didn't even have like a Texas voter on to talk about it.
Right.
Or the politicians themselves or something. It's so ridiculous. And it's anti-democratic because y'all are the motherfuckers that are like, open up the thing to everybody. Don't interfere at all. Just let people run. And then we'll see who the people pick. Well, part of that means Jasmine Crockett gets to run. It's one of the things I don't like about the online social progressive people is that they appear to be the biggest fucking bitches and crybabies in the world because they keep saying shit like, why doesn't so-and-so just step down? Why don't you just beat them? Why don't you just run and beat them?
That's my whole point,
You're literally
baby.
talking about a primary. You're not even talking about this isn't a, man, we have to select a replacement. Don't pick Jasmine Crockett. Nigga, you're the voters get to pick. You don't want her to be an option because you're scared she might win. The same way y'all feel about Kamala running in 2028. Y'all don't even want her to be an option because you're scared she might win. And you could pull out every fucking poll you want. There were polls that tell you whatever you want to hear. There's polls that's like Kamala Harris is gonna win in a blowout. There were polls like Kamala Harris won't even be close. There were and I'm sure there's polls Jasmine Crockett is terrible. Don't do it. And you will share the she's terrible poll. It's still just a fucking poll. The only poll that matter is going to the poll to vote.
That's the only one.
And if you don't want her to be the candidate and you live in Texas and you get a say, then you will get a say during your primary if she is running. Other than that, I could give less than a fuck about all this bullshit. Y'all don't like the way she TikTok. Oh man. Well, how about y'all worry about where y'all at? Stop getting involved if y'all don't care. Like this. Yeah, it's just this weird video gaming of the shit where it's like, I'm just going to hand select in here. You don't even have power down there. You're not organizing down there. You're just giving.
Not sending any money to the candidate. You didn't know who the fuck the other candidate was. What are we doing here?
Yeah, y'all, like the fact that y'all can't even tell us that dude's stances. You didn't spend any time promoting why he was good in those clips. It's crazy.
Right, because you come up with this shit. You don't give other options. And that's my thing. You don't give other
Well, the option was the other guy. They gave another option. The option was just not her.
The option was another guy that you didn't know the fuck about.
Right.
So in my opinion, you didn't give another option.
Right.
You know, because that's stupid. You know, and what's very frustrating to me, I will say this and I will continue to say this. People that always complain about the older established Democrats and being old and why do they leave, my answer to you is you primary them. You take it away. They guess what they did? They did everything that the law said that they were supposed to do. They got the votes, they got the constituents, they went through everything. They ticked all the boxes. You ain't did nothing, bitch. I'm not giving you shit.
Like, you notice something that Karen and I never say when we talk about the Democrats is they rigged it.
Right.
They stole it. They gerrymandered. They didn't allow me to vote. That's not the problem on the Democrat side. Like, I'm not like I don't question the results of Democratic elections just because I'm like, that's what the fuck happened. Now look, it can be the rules are set up to make it difficult. Don't get me wrong, that's absolutely part of it.
Right.
But the idea of like, man, they really rigged it against Mamdani. No, they can't. Because they believe in open and fair elections. So at the end of the day, if more people will vote for the guy who isn't the establishment, he will win, period. Unlike Republican places where they will be like, nah, we can figure a way out for you to not be able to vote. Hey, voting is only from 10 to 10:15 on Saturday mornings during church. You know what I'm saying? They don't do that. So I feel like it's just a lot of sour grapes and complaining from those types.
Yep.
Lil Lily from BK says, hey, Rod and Karen. A few months ago, I wrote in to tell you about meeting John Oliver, how cool he was, even took a picture together. When I asked if we could, he enthusiastically said, sure, yes. Sidebar, ready told him to get on the elevator a month later. I think he's following me. He was so friendly and gracious and completely opposite of Boeing Yang when I ran into him on the street in Brooklyn. Oh, shade. I'm sure you all know that running into celebrities and famous people as is a relatively common thing in NYC, no matter what borough you're in. Most New Yorkers, I think, are respectful of celebrity space and privacy. I think when they see one, I usually will say hello or give a head nod. I may say something like, I enjoy your work, or thank you for what you do, and I kept it pushing. I saw Bowen in downtown Brooklyn. We were walking perpendicular to each other. I looked to my right, and there he was walking towards me. I looked and looking at me. I actually did a double take because I was surprised to see him randomly walking down one of my favorite Brooklyn streets. And I was excited because I really like him on SNL. Long story short, I walked past him and then turned around and told him that I didn't want to bother him, but I loved his work, and the mofo kept his back to me the whole time. Most celebs would acknowledge someone, even if it's Kurt. Thanks. But this mofo stood 10 toes down, and with his dickness, I remember thinking if I was some hot white guy, white girl who looked like Dua Lipa, he would have responded. Damn, he getting fried.
I take that personally.
I've listened to Bowen Yang on Keith and the Girl before. I mean, he seemed all right to me. It's just, I think you get on that podcast space, you get to talking about shit, and especially politics and shit like that.
Yeah, and people walk up on you, and
you piss people. Well, I don't know about people walking up on them. And I don't know when this happened.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, you get free. You start feeling a little free. You start talking a little different. Mm-hmm. You start wanting to say stuff that's gonna move the needle.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
For ratings. Yeah, you talk like the bubbles, them big bubbles. Yes.
And honestly, the way that whole thing came off to me is, I can't say for sure that it's anti-blackness and racism that make them not, that want them to tell the Jasmine Crockett that she need to, that she's gonna lose, you know, blah blah blah. I don't know. I can't say that. I know they also said they regretted being Hillary Clinton supporters. But what I will say is that is what it looks like on the left. Mm-hmm. Like when people are very much like that liberal type of racism, they're not gonna come out and call you a slur, but they are going to just completely always downplay they want fighters, but not black fighters. They don't want black women fighters. All the black people that have made it somehow aren't doing it right. Your Hakeem Jeffries isn't doing it right. Your Kamala Harris isn't doing it right. Jasmine Crockett isn't doing it right. And these are three different type of personalities. Meaning, I don't even consider they're black, but those people don't all get down the same. And yet somehow they are all bad, right? All three of those people are bad. Despite winning the races and standing up and speaking for stuff, it's always just bad. It's always just wrong somehow. And then whenever it's somebody doing it right, it just happen to not be black, but they doing it right. It's Amy Klobuchar somehow is doing it right. Big Gretch, somehow she's doing it right. What exactly she's doing right, can't tell you for sure, but just
Can't
really
tell
like
you.
the cut of her jib.
Not even in her district. Can't fucking vote for her, but
Yeah,
she is
but she
doing
knows
it
how to
right.
do it. She just knows how to do it. Mom
Right.
Donnie just knows how to do it. They just do. They just, I don't know, something about them. And especially with Jasmine Crockett, I find so interesting because she's such a fighter. And she's
Yes.
so savvy, and she is so knowledgeable of the new wave of media, social media, and all that stuff.
You have to
And,
adjust.
and I'm not saying you have to love her style, but there should be a lot of respect for what she's built, just because y'all keep saying Democrats don't have this, and she's one of the few. Her and AOC are one of the few people that actually have a reach beyond just their district, but they have mastered like some social media interviews and stuff, and they have a very unique style, and hers is a fighter style. And yet I feel like a lot of this is this resentment of the angry black woman. Like she's they, you know, I've heard people call her ghetto and stuff like that. Not saying they said that on that show, but like there's this thing that comes where like, oh, the way she fights, no, not like that. And I think, like I said, I can't just say, oh man, they hate black women over there. I don't know them enough, but I get why people got to that conclusion. Cause it's like, oh, we've seen this before. This is the white folks being like, oh, we love Kamala Harris. We love, she's the best. Oh, when she cross-examines these Republicans in these fucking, in these congressional meetings and stuff. Oh God, she's so good and then when she's like, I'm going to run for president. Oh, not her. She's terrible. Oh, who will vote for her? You know, even I think for a lot of folks, the unspoken part of why they're so mad at Roy Wood Jr. isn't that stuff about loving those bigots. It's when he said, when it was Kamala Harris, I was like, oh, they going to lose. Because they're like, so you two are saying Kamala Harris did something wrong or whatever. Now he didn't elaborate and say that, but still my point being, how many of us reflexively are like, oh, not that again. Like she was a good candidate until y'all just decided she was not. And then y'all don't want to admit part of the decision making is black woman. We can say everything, but she's a black woman. In this one area, we have to pretend that America is race and gender neutral. This is the one area we're like, no, whatever she did is her own shortcomings. I don't think so.
Yeah, and also, and I want to comment on
got it.
some of the things you were saying. The thing about people and how they feel about, you know, the black people representing them in this country. White people have always loved our fights, but they always want us to fight in private and silent and amongst our people. Like they want you to fight there and then take credit for your work. Like they want you to do the groundwork. They want you to go into the poor, impoverished neighborhoods. They want you to do the souls to the polls and go out and go out into these quote unquote urban communities that they would never go into. They want you to do the work. They want you to phone bank. Like they want your labor. They want you to knock on the doors. Like they want you to do that part of the work while they go into the cushier white neighborhoods and put their face up front and be the poster board and get the praise for the work that you logistically done. You know, because you go back, a lot of times people that don't get credit and don't get their names and you don't even know who they are, a lot of times a lot of black and brown and LGBT people who come up with these great fundamental ideas like you want that from us. But if we decide that, hey, I want to be the face and I want to be up front, all of a sudden it's excuses. All of a sudden it's a problem.
They love
all
her.
Of a sudden,
they love the idea of a Jasmine Crockett in a black district representing those black people.
yes.
They hate the idea of Jasmine Crockett representing Texas.
Yes.
And those are the liberal people too. Like it ain't just like, we're not even talking about the conservatives right now because we already know what it is with them. But there's a lot of this in liberal spaces. This is one of the reasons I don't fuck with Bernie Sanders. They're never gonna make me accept Bernie Sanders as the ultimate solution, the perfect candidate, because he also harbors a lot of this anti-blackness. Like,
yes,
he's scared to stand up and stand with black people unless it's a picture from 1968. But today he ain't doing that shit because he knows there's a cost with his supporters where they be like, not too much on this black shit. That feels like identity politics. His supporters and him were some of the first people I heard decry identity politics, and they supposed to be on our side. So like, that's where this shit comes from. And I feel like that vein pops out when you see somebody like Jasmine Crockett or Kamala Harris. All of a sudden it's like, well, I don't know about the black woman. It's like,
Right.
well, what exactly is it about her?
Right.
Well, it's not that she's black. It's not that she's black. But isn't there a better option?
Yeah, and also it's one of those things too where not only do you want us to work in silence, when you go out there and fuck it up, you want us to come and save you. Like every time the country gets in a fucked up situation, and all of a sudden the only state that's left is Georgia, and all of a sudden it's getting down to the black dishes. Ooh, thank you, black people. You don't mean that.
They be saying,
shit,
thank you, black women.
but you won't
But they
listen
won't.
to us.
But they don't want to say, put black women in charge.
Right.
They be like, thank you. Y'all can go back to, we got it from here.
We got it from here, so we can fuck it up again, and then turn around and look at you and ask you how to fix it.
There's a certain kind of anti-black that exists in white gay culture that which he is much aligned to. Even though, see, I don't be knowing all this stuff about him and that show. I'm not an expert on it. So y'all that listen and because I know there were people that were even like, this why I don't listen to them and shit. I like I said, I don't know everything, but I'll just, I'm just reading what y'all said. I don't know. Even though he wasn't as vocal as co-host was about Representative Jasmine Crockett, he was co-signing it. Your critique of them was spot on. Beto didn't win, so let's wash, rinse, dry, repeat another white male candidate. Fuck out of here. Here's my thing. Why don't they ever take any blame when their candidate lose?
Right. That like that
Y'all
shit don't
notice
matter.
that? You notice that? Like,
They yada 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 past
where
that.
where are they at with the like, yo, we fucked up with Beto. Here's what we should have did. Because they didn't do that.
Because
They,
it's nothing about them
and-
ever improving.
and also that didn't count as whiteness, right? That
Right.
didn't, when they ran Beto and he lost, that did not count somehow as, hey man, this was white folks picking their best white candidate and he lost. We should try something else. It was like, no, that's not that just never happened. What we really need to do is run another white guy. That'll get it done. Okay, you tell me his policies? No, just that he's not Jasmine Crockett. Anyway,
and then act
yeah.
like something wrong with you when you start picking up on the coding and things like
Yeah.
that. That's why they had to apologize, because not trying to find, they knew that shit was fucked up.
I'm not even
telling
gonna
people
front.
not to support.
I'm not even gonna front, Karen. I normally don't say this, but I don't believe their apology in any way.
Me either. They
I
meant what
truly
they
think
said.
I truly think what they said is what they felt. And I think if it wasn't for the internet pushback, they would, like, because ultimately motherfuckers like that are not brave.
No, they're not.
Meaning, what I mean is, like, even the choice of, let's just get this white man we don't know about and see if we can sneak some progressive politics past Texas voters, that's not a brave choice. You're not standing up on business. What you're saying is, like, I would like the policies, the same exact policies Jasmine Crockett has, but just in a white package. And then when people go vote for it, they won't hold their nose. They'll just go, oh, white man, yes. That's what they think. That's my belief. And so when they got that pushback, I think that also is a reflection of, we just don't want no smoke.
Yes.
Like, it
We
was
don't
oh
want
yeah,
no
we'll definitely
smoke.
think about it twice.
No,
but
you
I don't
won't.
believe it.
No, you won't. You just watch what you say and try to quote unquote not be as offensive. But it's like you say, it's one of those things with
Have her on your show. Y'all are big enough to be
Right.
like, Jasmine Crockett, come on our show. Let's
and
talk about it.
Yes, y'all are.
Y'all actually could do that.
Yes, y'all could.
Like, have her on y'all show. Talk to her face. Like, let's hear about her policies. Had the other dude on the show too. Like, it's not
Yes.
like, I'm not telling y'all that you gotta like get in the bag, but like, treat her with the respect you treat this dude you don't know how to pronounce his name yet.
Right.
Beto didn't win, so let's watch right there. Oh, wonder if Eggy Nwaldum checked him for his comments and his dumbass comments on his black friend. I don't know. You deep in the poll. I don't know
I
enough.
have no idea,
Lee.
baby.
I don't even know who them people is. Trey says, amen, Karen. You were so on point with your heartfelt statement. And I felt it in my soul. Thank you for that. You expressed how I've been feeling about this situation perfectly. Roger hit the nail on the head too. White America, left and right, are going to have a conversation with themselves because they failed the open book test that was this or these past elections. Thanks to you too for always giving a damn peace, Trey. Thank you, Trey. The poll was, are you a Tom Brady, Alex Earl relationship hater? Yes or no? 17% of my audience is yes. Y'all cared. Shout out to y'all. 83% of
not.
us did not care, so that's why it's a no for me.
I do not care.
I did not even know who that woman was at the point. Let's see.
I don't know her.
On YouTube, we got episode, of course, we got Home Alone at Home, 3209. 32 comments. Oh my God. Oh
yeah,
my God.
I think this fell into other people's algorithms that normally don't watch our show.
Woo. All right, here we go, guys. Here we go. But this is why we do the show we do. You know, it's small for us. I mean, it's big for us, small to others, but we take it how we get it. Ramsey PH Dunn says, Rod, you brought a word with your take on the Rolling Stone interview with Roy Wood Jr. Racism in America is not a black, Asian, biracial, Hispanic, or Native American problem. Thank you. Donna Tio says, listen to Out of Touch White People is how we lost the last election. I felt every bit of Karen's anger, frustration, and outrage. Pineapple says, Pineapple Det says, I needed this. Thanks, Rod and Karen. So glad for this podcast. Sharon says, Karen, I feel you. They all gave us the middle finger in 2024 and voted for this POS again. A man who was responsible for 1 million dead Americans the first time. White folks voted for hate. They've shown what they are. Fuck their feelings. Sharon says, also, they want to play the same old games. Well, not this time. They voted for hate and racism. I'm not going to let them forget. Thanks, guys.
Nope, we'll not let them forget because they loud. Why I got to shut the hell up?
Sue Diem says, you may know Roy Wood Jr.'s heart, but most people don't know him, so can only respond to his actual words. And his actual words were some mealy-mouthed, non-committal, moderate, love will conquer all bullshit. I understand you're not wanting to go in on him because you are acquainted, but trying to make excuse for why he needs to be delicate in his replies is disingenuous. Pseudonym, all I gotta tell you right now.
What did you hear?
I think I know what I said. I stand by everything I said. And I give him the same fairness I would give anybody saying that. If this was somebody that has some track record of saying a bunch of shit that I would disagree with, I'm sure I would feel differently. But no, it's not. And it's not even just about knowing his heart. You can not know Roy Wood Jr. from a can of paint. If you just know him through his work, you know that that's not how he approaches his work. Right. So like, that's just, I mean, you could, yeah, that's not gonna make me feel bad. And I get it. Y'all think this is the outrage stuff online I'm talking about. This is the person that sent me the, hey man, call him a coon. Like, I get that that's how y'all get down, but that's never been how I got down. And y'all can't change that about me. I know who I am. Okay, Judy Morrow's son is a good person. Y'all not gonna make me feel bad for being like, yeah, I can see how he would get to this answer, whether he believed it or not, to be honest. And another person responded, agreed, Roy doesn't have a track record of saying dumb shit though. Either way, they were probably better off just not saying anything here. Hey man, let me tell you something. It's our podcast. We gonna talk about whatever we want to talk about. And if we didn't talk about it, you wouldn't be leaving a comment. Do chill, regular. Think about it. Like, it's all the same way. He says Rod was low-key sounding like Charlemagne, protected Andrew Schultz, etc. You just say Roy Wood Jr. and Andrew Schultz in the same sentence? You think that's the same? So let's talk about that for a second. Andrew Schultz, who voted for Trump, openly admits it, who has on his podcast is like, I'm anti-woke, I'm anti-DEI. The guy who had Trump on his podcast, the guy who sat up there and clowned black women in front of those brothers that let that happen, that Kendrick Lamar ended up rapping about. That to you is Roy Wood Jr. I should treat Roy Wood Jr. the way I think Andrew Schultz should be treated. That's not even a good faith comment. You're not being a real person. Right there. Like, that's so stupid. And I pride myself on, I will never say anything on this show I wouldn't say to that person's face. And it works both ways, meaning there's some people who I'm like, man, fuck that person. They a coon. And if Candace Owens was in my face, I tell her, I gotta keep it real. You a coon. But nothing about that conversation made me feel the way I feel towards Andrew Schultz. And I wasn't protecting Roy Wood Jr. I was trying to give y'all some game. Now, some of y'all might not be able to pick up game, but I was trying to give y'all some game. I told y'all, even if that would have been Bomani, and I was working on game theory, and I saw that answer, I would 100% be like, well, I guess we get to keep coming to work Monday, because that is how that works.
Yes, it is.
And you don't gotta like it, but that's the fucking truth. This is why you don't allow these people to be in charge.
Nope.
Because when you put these people in charge, you actually make a lot of people either have to be brave activists that are willing to fucking go out there and lose everything, or they end up sounding like this, which is like, I don't, shit is crazy. Yeah. Anyway, if Roy Wood said some dumb shit, he said some dumb shit. Okay, well, go call him. You text him. Thank you, Karen, says K. Jordan. CHM818 says, man, this episode was on 0.5 stars. Overall feelings and thoughts you both presented are what I wish every person could breathe out, like Dragonfire. Karen, on point. I'm in Texas. It's crazy how people want to vote for the most unproven milquetoast white male. I love how you spell milquetoast, like milk and toast. I always thought that was
That's hilarious.
I always felt like that anyway, I love that. Who is using his religion as the end to get Christian Republicans instead of beautiful, dynamic, tested, and approved high-quality black woman who is fighting for humanity. Thank you. Does Nick have money problems we don't know about? Rod, that was hilarious. Thank you. Omar says, I think we might lose the politics till we get mad segment. I wouldn't blame y'all. It's infuriating. I don't think we'll lose it, man. It's still like it's good for all of us to have that moment every once in a while. It won't always be, 27 flame emojis Karen, but we'll always talk about it.
Yeah, most of the time it is not like that.
I'm with Karen, says Cassandra. I'm so upset with this man being our president. I'm so angry. I can't take it every fucking day. Seeing what he's doing, I'm so livid. Thank you, Karen, for doing the screaming for me. I feel hurt. Yeah, it's funny because I'm sure people that disagree with us and would put that clip up like, this is the Trump derangement syndrome. But honest to God, man, if you're not looking around, seeing what's happening in our country and not feeling some sort of anger,
something wrong with you,
then you're deranged.
Yes, you are.
If you're not looking at what they doing,
some form of anger,
right? Then what's wrong with you?
Right. But
your lack of empathy is not my problem. Thank you for all that you do. Y'all don't miss. It's you and Tony, says Omar. Shay Smith says he's one of the robbers that's not Joe Pesci. This took me out because it was in my best Karen voice. Who? Black ass Rob says, Karen, your feelings are 1,000% valid, felt by those of us who have been paying attention. Not enough people are angry enough, which is why this country is in the mess it is right now.
Agreed, and I will stand 10 toes down. People, they're just not angry enough, because if they were angry enough, like really angry and really fed up and really demanding change and was like really trying to be about that business, it would be very, very different.
Easy Does It says, Karen for president. Easy Does It also says, after they ousted Biden and started talking about having an open primary when Kamala was right there, I said to myself, the Democratic establishment is trying to get rid of the most reliable part of the party. And as of today, I feel the same way. They are just as MAGA. Duchill says, Duchill is the guy earlier who said that I'm protecting Roy Wood Jr. like Andrew Schultz. So just take this with a grain of salt, as this may be the last time we hear from Duchill regular. Okay. He may be hidden from the channel. Let's see how this goes for him. Now that it happened to someone they like, Karen and Rod can acknowledge the backdoor dealings that go on amongst the donor class of the DNC. Interesting with this emoji. You did a whole segment on George Clooney recently, and it wasn't about his last movie. In fact, you had several segments on his involvement with getting Biden removed, Kamala's insight from her book, and Josh Shapiro's side. So I'm not making anything up. You absolutely acknowledge the messy shit that goes on behind the scenes. Random people you know on Twitter had zero control over what happened to Biden. That much is obvious. So would be weird to get upset over that when people with real power are responsible for having Karen on the verge of tears here. because I had replied, none of us said a single thing about backdoor dealings of the donor class, though. You just made that up. We knew a lot of people who weren't donors, but just saw the debate and wanted Biden to step down.
Yes, they did.
Those are people we were talking about. At the end of the day, voters have to vote. And no matter what happened with Biden, Kamala was the easy choice and people failed the assignment. That's the only important thing that matters here.
Yes, it is.
So Dude Chill Regular decided that meant no, we were talking about the Democratic backdoor donor class. I wasn't. I have friends that saw the Biden debate and was like, he got to step down. There was media pressure for him to step down, like Jake Tapper. And once again, they didn't make him step down. He stepped down. I think he stepped down because he's a good American, a good person that puts country first.
Yep.
Trump would have never stepped down. If Biden was even the person that people were alleging he was with this huge ego, he would not have stepped down.
100%. I told you how I feel.
Yeah,
Y'all
but he stepped.
my dick.
He stepped down because he was hand-pegged into stepping down. I don't think that was just because of all the backroom dealings. Now, that being said, I'm not saying there aren't people that would do backroom dealings and put pressure on. That obviously happens. It's politics. I'm not naive to it. But this idea that like me and Karen was suddenly like, yeah, that's what they really do to people. No, I 100% say this thing happened to Biden because Biden was a good person, and we, not just the Nancy Pelosi's of it, we as a people, we as voters, let him down.
Yes, we
because
did.
I don't think there was any reason we couldn't have had the same resolve that MAGA has around Trump.
Right.
Where they just be like, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, he just came out on stage, pulled his dick out, pissed, and called everyone the N-word, did double middle fingers, got back into his car, and we're still going to vote for him. I think when we have that type of stick-to-itiveness, we will win. But other than that, we're going to continue to lose because Biden was still better than Trump. And if you go, well, Kamala Harris is even a better candidate. Cool. If something happens to Biden after he wins, guess who will be president? So what are we even arguing about?
I 100% agree. And at that period of time, that's when I knew people were not mad enough. Like, y'all weren't mad enough. I was like, Trump is up here saying all types of shit and doing all types of shit. And when you ask his base, what do they say? We don't fucking care. And I felt like I was alone on the island when I was like, I don't fucking care. Like none of it. Everything
Right.
else I heard was goddamn excuses to me. I was like, oh, y'all not mad. Y'all not angry enough.
Right.
Y'all not mad enough to say no matter what he does, I'm going to vote for him. Because that's what they do. And then we turn around and look at them, go, why can't we be more like them? No, because we have too many isms and schisms and
Right.
and fractions and too many people wanting to kick other people out of the group, even though we're supposed to all be on the same side. We 99% there, 1% off, and all of a sudden we have to quote unquote go our separate ways. That's why they are very united in their front, and we are fractured.
But yeah, and you know, not that this person's obviously doing bad faith and they're trying to goad me, and I promise to God this will be the last time we see them on our channel. I'm gonna just ban them. But I did want to address it because you're not gonna gaslight us into whatever this fake lie that they're trying to say. I have acknowledged the idea that there are people within the Democratic Party at the top. There's donors, there's this, there's that, big money spenders, there's all this shit. But I've always said, and I will always say, until proven otherwise, these motherfuckers don't decide the election.
Right.
And the perfect example is Mom Donnie. Because we know establishment Democrats were like, no, we don't want Mom Donnie, even at the detriment of getting somebody like Cuomo, who's not a good politician at all. And what happened? They lost. When we talk about Jasmine Crockett, I'm not talking about big money donors, the Democratic machine. I know that exists. I'm telling y'all are taking your power away as a voter when you give them too much power.
Right.
By acting like they put the thumb on the scale and that, well, I guess we had no choice. We always have a choice. Voters often defy them. They often go, nah, fuck that, man. We not rolling with what the fuck y'all talking about. AOC got elected that way. You can outwork that money because at the end of the day, the money can't vote. The only thing they can vote is us. We go out and decide. So I won't let you take the easy way out of disempowering yourself and I won't let you disempower the audience or whatever. I don't give a fuck what they decide. They can't decide. You sound like these people that still talking about Soros is doing this and such and such is putting money into this. Like, it doesn't matter where the money goes if you go outvoted. So that's the part that I push back on. Like, the rest of it is, I know this person particularly is trying to goad me. Like the whole this is Roy Wood Jr. Karen's on here too. Karen was upset, and it's like, she also was not saying Roy Wood Jr. fuck him, he a coon, go to hell. There's a reason y'all singling me out. I see what you're trying to do.
Oh yeah. And child, we've been doing this way too long.
16
child.
years.
We know that tactic.
He says, I never watched y'all on YouTube before, but after hearing the audio version of Karen's rant, I had to see the visuals to digest the rage fully. I know leading up to the election, y'all were pushing back hard against Biden, his old talk about Dems, and y'all might literally be the only people I follow who consistently argue that Biden shouldn't have stepped down after that debate, but overall, I agree. Not sure Biden or Kamala ever had a realistic chance to beat Trump for a couple of reasons, but I'd take either of them or damn near any of the hypothetical 2024 primary Trump candidates over Trump. This is the thing, Do Chill Regular. I wish you would have just stayed right here, because this is the pocket I'm talking about. We can agree. I don't really find it that interesting to fight about this stuff until you took it to a personal place of trying to question my integrity about it with Roy Wood Jr. and shit. Obviously, that cannot be accepted. I'm not going to let you just troll me till oblivion. I see how these things start, and this is how they always get out of control. I try to be open-minded and, well, you know, maybe. And then by the end, it's like, oh, no, this motherfucker got a problem with me. I can't control if you got a problem and you're going to continue to listen, but I can't control whether or not we interact. It's super easy to armchair quarterback after the fact, but we need to be focused on the midterms and what's going to need to happen going forward. Yeah, I wish you would have just stuck there, because we can agree there. Why you had to turn it into like, and this really means, okay. Another MSTI says, I need this, was mad when y'all brought me back down. Well, hold on now. I needed to be brought back down. Now, I'm not ending my life. I'm not ending no episode as mad as we was. I'm sorry. I gotta go live a life. Honestly, that's one of my favorite things about this episode. This was, I'm not joking, this was one of my favorite episodes we ever did, because it was everything that is the Blackout Tips. It was the humor, and it was the rage. It was the passion. It was the silliness, but it was also the seriousness, man. I'm you know, I don't say this often about our own show. I think the work speaks for itself, but I truly think what we do is so unique and special and good.
I do too.
And, you know, like Jasmine Crockett, I know there's a lot of limitations we have because we are black and we do this work and we do it in a black way with black people in mind first. Mm-hmm. So, like, there's some limitations our show's not going to be able to... If we were talking like, you know, like how Roy was talking, like how Charlamagne talks, like, you know, how Bo and Yang and them talk, like maybe we would be a little bit bigger if we, cause it gives white people a little more comfort to know that you're willing to be like, yeah, man, you know, white people ain't, it's not really on them. It's right. Like everybody keeps making them think it's okay to be racist. But man, I wouldn't be able to live with myself in a way that on a platform I can control. If I was talking like that. So like, man, right. I'm so happy when y'all are happy about the way the show goes out like that, because that was one of my favorite ones. Right,
and the biggest reason why we're able to do this is because of supporters and premium people. Like, we're able to be free and we're able to voice our opinion, where we don't have producers and managers and writers, you know, and all these kind of other people that kind of
because at the end of the day, like,
it's a product.
A dude like Do Chill Regular not supporting us.
Oh no.
You know what I mean? Like they not really like they just come in, I never seen y'all on YouTube, but I just wanted to come in and insult you. It's y'all that's like, yo, I needed this. Yo, thank you. Okay, this is a good point. Even when y'all disagree, but y'all disagree in a way that's like good faith.
Yes, good faith.
Those are the listeners that actually keep this shit going, man. It's the people that go, man, I listen to a lot of stuff. Nobody's talking like y'all. You know, like And even Do Chill Regular had to give credit. He's like, damn, y'all was probably right about that Biden shit. Y'all the only one people that's sticking with that. Yeah. Because we believed it.
Yeah.
And there's
I
no
was
amount of
not
peer
bullshitting.
pressure and shady comments that's gonna change us off of that.
Right.
Same way that so a lot of times y'all are the ones that be hopped up off of listening to all these other people, and then you come here and you get like a little bit different, something a little different. And I think there's nothing wrong with that, because it's not like we're trying to be contrarian. We're just trying to be fucking honest.
Yes, yeah, and the thing, I try to be honest and consistent, and it's also one of those things. As I get new information, my opinions do change. You know what I mean? As new information come in, because those of you know, and y'all remember, and I will never forget the day Roger woke me up and told me that Biden retired.
Right.
And I'm glad we didn't go on the air immediately. Like, he actually gave me like 10 to 15 minutes to actually calm down. I was madder than I actually was when he initially told me. Then when I went on air.
Let's see. Can we please get Karen's speech played at the next DNC? They ain't ready. They ain't ready.
Mm-mm.
God,
If y'all can't take Michelle Obama, I know you can't take me.
Yeah. Oh man, they will 100% be like, and Karen is the reason the Democrats lost, because that's what they do. Instead of hearing that as a clarion call to battle, they would be like, she yelled at us. CPJ Morgan says, yes, Karen, I'm with you. Thank you for speaking for so many of us black women with your full voice. The pain is so very deep. Yeah, and I think a lot of black women have not really been allowed to be pained. Like, the most I've really seen from black women right now is a lot of like, it's not our job to fix it, or we just sitting this one out, or, and about not the election, but the actual like, oh, y'all gonna go march? Cool. I'm gonna be sipping my drink. And that of course, that's a form of resistance and stuff. But you have not gotten to see black women be mad like that. And you know they mad. I would be mad, because they always understand the assignment, and they always get it right as a collective group project. And then the rest of us come out here making milly mouth motherfucking excuses for the fact that we ain't as about it as black women, while also claiming that, hey man, black women, listen to them, put them in stars, black women lead. But when it comes down to it, when we had a chance for black women to lead us,
Ask Stacey Abrams.
we say no, and then we go, and they're never allowed to be mad about it. Stacey Abrams cannot be mad about it. Kamala Harris cannot be mad about it. But people are mad, and it's right to be mad. And so, yeah, when Karen expresses that anger in a place where you just don't get to see black women be that type of mad.
Right. Yeah, and I think
it hits something.
Yeah, because like you say, it's a rarity that you get that form of raw emotions like that, and also I think for me personally, a lot of black women are kind of taught, I'm just keeping it real, taught and raised to take abuse. Just abuse from the church, abuse from their man, abuse from relationships, abuse from their kids, just abuse from their job, just abuse. Just work twice as hard and you will get acknowledged, but you consistently bypass for promotions. You consistently training the person that's getting ready to take your job or get ready to get hired or promoted from you. And then by the time you walk into the room, you're overqualified. And then you come in with all these new ideas and fresh ideas and things like that, and you're ignored. You're told to be quiet. You're told to shut up. You're told to do all these other things. And then what do a lot of black women do? They turn around. They get all types of degrees. Then they turn around and they look at other black women. They're like, what are the needs? Then they turn around and they become millionaires and billionaires, over-serving the populace that loves them and get love in return. And then a lot of times for a lot of those businesses and things like that, you have the white people saying you don't deserve it, and you have the niggas talking about you too, talking about your product and whatever else you're selling. It's fucking frustrating.
Yeah.
And then you get to the point where you turn around and for the first time ever, a black woman is on the top of the ticket. Not number 2, the top of the motherfucking ticket. Y'all have told us to consistently wait our turns. When it was Barack Obama, niggas turn around and looked at us, swung their dicks and say, wait your goddamn turn. Okay, that's what y'all told us. Y'all was happy. Y'all was pride. Y'all was Obama. Like I was there. I remember. And I was just as happy as y'all. We guess what we did? We supported y'all. was like, yeah, we gonna get this man in office. We gonna do it. Rah, 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 rah. Okay, here's a black woman. We looking at these same niggas, and all of a sudden, I got to look at the I don't know. She a woman. Oh, she might get her period. What if her titty's too big? We got to deal with bullshit like that.
Right.
And then you gonna look at me and turn around, and when she motherfucking lose, tell me to bite my goddamn tongue and act like it's okay. Bitch, it ain't okay. It's not okay. I had to wait. I had to sit back and watch y'all cheer. And that was my turn, and I cheer, and I got to deal with you being disillusioned because it wasn't a black man. Like, I'm just keeping it like the shit like that is shit that frustrates me, because you dealing with it within your own culture, and then you're dealing with the racism that the white people give you and the sexism that goes along with that too. Like I said, it was a double-edged sword. And then like I said, we're supposed to sit back and and say, it's all right, it's okay. We're not supposed to respond. We're not supposed to get upset. Guess what we supposed to do? We supposed to look at y'all motherfucker, the country, punching me in the goddamn face, shake it off, and be like, yeah, I march for you again. We supposed to sit and watch this country, look at Stacey Abrams twice and say, no, we don't want none of that. And tell us that black women are the best, black women are the greatest. You don't want to hear a motherfucking thing we got to say. Y'all got it. You know, like, and I really do feel like that. Y'all, you got it. So it's gonna be interesting, and I feel like this is gonna be interesting when it comes to getting closer to elections. We might see articles about black women not participating and things like that. Like, cause you know they're gonna blame us. You know, if we just opt out and be like, no, here's some money. No, I'm not marching. I will go vote. I'm doing the bare minimum. No, I'm not phone banking. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm not giving a speech in the community. No, I'm not scheduling shit. No, I'm not going to talk to the pastors and the preachers and the community organizers in the inner cities of Chicago and all these. I refuse to do it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go see Beyonce Carter tour. I'm gonna watch her step into cowboy boots. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna watch whatever I'm doing. What I'm gonna do, cause I'm educated, y'all. That's the thing. A lot of black women are highly educated. They got a whole lot of money, whole lot of disposable income. And guess what? We were sacrificing the joy of the fruits of our labor to come help y'all. Like, we could have been doing this shit all along, but y'all punched me in the goddamn stomach. So you know what? I need a motherfucking break. So you know what? Some people are going to come back, but there are going to be a lot of us. We will never come back. You will never get 100% out of us again. You're going to get that 75 to 80. And for some people, they might even knock it down to 25. They might donate, but guess what? It's going to be a little less, you know, and shit like that. Like that's real, because our feelings are hurt. We're hurt. We're distraught. We're distressed. And every time we turn around, the country takes their foot and just step on our necks and act like we're supposed to take it with a smile and get back up and do it again. You mammy, get out there and do the fruits of the labor for this country for motherfucking free. That's what you're supposed to do, slave to this country, because we're not smart enough nor intelligent enough to make the right decisions to put the people in office that y'all tell us to put. We ignore the shit out of y'all and then turn around and want you to fix it while we turning around and got our foot on your neck. That's what you're hearing. And I know I'm not the only one that felt like that. And I know I will not be the only one that continue to feel like that. And you know, people can feel how they want to feel about that, but that's the truth. And like a lot of this anger, I put to the side because I'm a good soldier, you know. So yeah, things happen. You're hurt and you're distraught. We get up, but like I say, when we get up, we might not be the same soldiers that we were when we went down.
It's gonna be interesting. I don't know what'll happen, honestly, because I think the only part of that is you're talking almost on the premise that these white folks believe, which is the idea that black women was doing all this work for these white folks. And I would say black women was doing that work for black women.
Oh, yes.
So I don't know that black women are going to be like, fuck my community, fuck all the voting, fuck all, you know what, fuck it. Let's just lose. You know what I'm saying? I'm done, Tom. I'm done. I think if black women do decide to continue to keep pushing this thing forward, it's because they're doing it for them. Because they're still first on the chopping block, right?
Yes, they are.
But I'm with you in that it'll never be the same. It'll never be the same. I I don't know what the numbers will be, but what I would caution is this. Even if the numbers are similar to black women are participating at similar numbers. If the the donations, the amount of elections, the amount of people knocking on doors, if black women are still doing that work, I would not assume that means it's all good. That's all I'm saying. Like, I don't think Latasha Brown's gonna stop doing outreach for black votes because Kamala lost.
Of course.
I don't think Stacey Abrams is gonna stop doing that work because Kamala lost. So I don't think, no matter how angry they or upset they are, I just think L. Joy Williams will continue to do her work. I just don't think because white people have only put not even white people, everyone has only put the feelings of a certain type of person up front. They have refused to and not taken any time to address the hurt black women. Period. No one's done the work. Like, maybe other black women are doing that work, but in mass, as a party, the Democrats aren't doing that work. Individually, media's not doing that work.
Yeah, and they just take us. It's very frustrating because they just take us for granted. Even black men in the party, they be like, "Well, what else you gonna do? What else you gonna do?"
Yeah, I had a friend.
You're like, "Oh, nigga."
I had a good friend tell me, like, after she lost, or not even after she lost, before Kamala was running, when they were like, maybe we should have an open primary, I said they can't do that and they shouldn't do that, and that's fucking stupid. Kamala's a great candidate. They just need to run with it. Everybody need to get behind this. And he was like, yeah, but I don't know. People don't like da-da-da-da. And I said, okay, in this world, what do you think happens when y'all skip over the black woman candidate? And it was kind of just like, well, where else are black women gonna go? And I said, home. Like, I don't know why y'all think that's an option for everybody but black women. That's an option for everybody.
It's an option for everybody. Like I said, you are still gonna have people out there fighting no matter what.
Yeah.
Please don't get me wrong, but you're gonna have a percentage of us. We're gonna go, yeah, we fighting, but you ain't gonna get the 100%
right.
no more.
I guess what I'm saying is, let's say it's 75%. There's gonna be people that are like, they won't even notice the difference. You see what I'm saying? People that's not in the community won't even care. I'm saying it's gonna be very telling that they won't. Everyone has got a post-mortem but black women. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's gotta, like, this what we need to do. We need to sit down with the Charlie Kirks. We need to sit down with the Jordan Petersons. We need to we gotta bring the immigrants back to the table. We need to talk to the Latinos. We need to, everybody but, like, black women, who I feel like we failed the most. They had the most qualified candidate ever,
of all
and she was not running on being a black woman.
No.
Like, she ran as the person that like, is just a competent politician with good policies, and yet everybody got some type of weird ass excuse why she shouldn't have did this. Anyway, so all right, moving on. Provocative A Up says, what is up? This episode is so on point. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Rod. Y'all brought down a round of applause, standing ovation. This hit my soul and my spirit. This needed to be said. No one is saying the obvious. Much love. Thank y'all. We got each other. We got nothing else. We on the same page. Sure enough, I enjoyed y'all getting mad on politics till we get mad. I was high-fiving myself. Somebody need to say what y'all said. I saved this episode. Thanks. Biz Drone says, I was at this point a long time ago. Forget all that love them to conquer them talk. Yeah, agreed. I'm not doing it. Rod and Karen, I logged into Beyonce's internet to say I disagree with Roy Wood's opinion. Dumb as shit, in my opinion, to feel that you could love all these racist, dumb, uneducated, lying, backstabbing bastards. His opinion prioritizes people that support, vote for, and follow the orange dump. Can't do it. Can't co-sign his opinion. We fighting with the intent to kill, and for me, we fighting people with the intent to kill, and for me, this opinion is, the comment is asking me to consider pulling my punches because of how they feel. Nope. All right, Hemdale, you let them know how you feel. The fight on the other side, the girl on the other side of the road said, I stopped watching Have I Got News for You long ago. It turned to a both sides are bad, and also them bringing Republicans to the show to be like, hi, horrible person, you work for Trump, you're so bad, audience laughing. Anyway, let's play a game. Yeah, man, I just think that is the mandate from CNN from the top down. And I also, like, no shade to Roy in the show, but I don't think that work is going to free us. And maybe it's not the job of that work to free us. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's the job is to entertain those people that watch CNN all day and they just kind of want a laugh break at the same shit that they've been crying about all week.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, I don't do well with those like not his specific show, any of those shows. I don't watch cable news anymore. I'm well past whatever the ability to just absorb that kind of news without feeling very convicted in that this is part of the problem. I'm beyond it. I can't watch CNN knowing that the people at the top feel like it's super important to try to make this Fox News light. I can't, because you feel it in the machinations of the decisions that happen above the individual show host, right? It's like, this show needs to be able to do this. And I think what we have as a country is beyond just we can play games about it. I just think it's, you know, it's like if we did the blackout tips, but like every week we brought on a conservative. I could never do that work. You know, now I'm not saying the work can't be done. I'm not even saying make you a bad person to do the work. I just know that having worked in that industry, late night talk, I just know it's shit that happened at the top that y'all as an audience would contribute to individual people because their name is on it. That's just a lot bigger than y'all think. It just is not like, I'll put it this way. I remember watching, so with Game Theory, we had like questions from the audience, right? And so sometimes they ask questions from the audience and it's like, you know, it could be about anything. It doesn't have to be sports. And I think once or twice I got like a question about like Obama or something like that. And Bo was kind of critical of Obama in a way that I found to not be productive. Even if he believed it, I was like, then I would just say I disagree with him. And, you know, we've talked about Obama before in our own personal like discussions. And I think we both disagree, but you know, not in a way of like, nigga, we can't be friends. Like it wasn't no Stephen A. Smith shit, but it was like, yeah, we see this differently. But we had an understanding of context and nuance between each other that I think friends have. And, you know, so anyway, the point is though, part of me was like, I guess even in the selecting of the host, that's kind of the person that gets to be the host of a show, because the people in charge of selecting that host, they don't really want a host. Like I can't make that work. Like I'm the one that's like, man, fuck what y'all talking about. Obama's a good president. I don't give a fuck what y'all what? Nigga, all the bad white presidents y'all done put in charge. Y'all put Trump in charge and y'all want me to go back and be critical of Obama? You can suck my dick. And that doesn't work. Meaning I can't say that to an audience full of multi-denominational, multiracial, whatever, liberal people in any situation and have them go, that Rod, man, he's on point. They're going to be like, man, fuck him, blah, blah, blah. He likes establishment, whatever they're going to say, that whatever bullshit they say about this stuff. But part of me was like, oh, that's why you get the show. Because there's a level of like, okay, he'll say what needs to be said when it comes down to it. And that's not me calling anybody no sellout, none of that shit. I think genuinely you can believe that, but genuinely that's who gets the show. The irony being, in this case, the reason that Obama got to be president is because he genuinely gave the only types of opinions that they would allow a black man to have to be president. And I don't mean conservative opinions, but he was very much we can love the racism out of him. That's why I always find it interesting when people do the like, this is where Obama fucked up, and then their solution is let's love the racism out of these people. I'm like, so that's what he said. Exactly, y'all been saying the same shit he said and acting like y'all more progressive than him. None of y'all have really changed since 2008. Y'all not really ready to fight, because when it comes down to the actual solution, y'all always say some sort of, we got to find a way to reach across the aisle and come by our differences and find these white people whose feelings have been disaffected. Oh, so you mean what he was saying? Because that's what he was saying. The matter of fact, he took flack when he said people cling to their religion and their guns and shit, their Bibles and their guns. Y'all, that's when he took the flack and said, ooh, third rail. Can't talk about white people that way no more. Let me stop. You know, so anyway, I just find it interesting, but I also can't watch cable news. I just can't.
Yeah, I haven't watched
and I
it
don't,
in a long time. I haven't listened to any political podcast since after, I think starting before, but after the election, I just, a lot of them I would like donate to and all that. I gave money and stuff to, but mentally I just cannot.
My
take
thing
it.
is, because I can listen to like On the Media, Charlotte Talks.
Yes,
I can listen to stuff. But my bigger thing is not just that, but it's not bigger thing, but my issue isn't just the like listening to political stuff. It's the formula of let's have this ground-based, fact-based, real discussion, and then we're gonna invite a fucking crazy conservative in, and you could go, well, this the type of conservative, he's not the most crazy. The fact that they're coming in the room and saying some of the stuff that's allowed to be said in those spaces,
right?
Just because you're frowning or making a joke about it that's not work. That's not powerful. That's not changing anything. That's not making anything better, in my opinion. And part of the reason that those people are there is because they are a staple, meaning they're not going to come into there and go, actually, I do see what y'all saying and I agree. You see what I'm saying? They have to come there, and or else they cease to exist as a point of conflict that would be interesting to watch. So they have to come there and say conservative shit. They can't come in there and be like, fam, everything y'all saying is right and I get it. No, they gonna be like, well, what about the trans people swimming?
Right.
Like that's, and I don't want to be subjected to that. I'm done with that. Jay Full says, man, I ain't seen Karen that mad in a minute, but I was clapping like, hell yeah, I feel you, and fuck George Clooney. Simone Nicole says, when things feel out of control, it's truly validating to hear someone express the pain and frustration. You both are truly a gift. Now let me go take someone's phone and give y'all another 5-star rating. Thank you.
Hey,
and you probably kept everybody from getting some more commercials.
Yes.
And then Patreon. Let's see. This episode was We Got Home Alone at Home. Oh shit, I forgot to post it on here ad free. I just realized that.
Oh shit.
All right, I'll figure out how to. Oh no, I did. Okay, I did. Never mind. Woo. Oh, well, scared myself. I see. I forgot to put ad free as the title. Okay, yeah, I'll be having to put that in the title. Let me put that in there right now.
Yeah, and edit it just so they know.
Yeah. My bad, everyone. But it was on here, making sure y'all get y'all's money. I know one of y'all would have told me. That's how I should have known that didn't fuck that up. Anyway.
Hey, Rod, you promised us ad free.
Nadine says, Karen's very appropriate and justified anger scared the crap out of me. Lord, get out of an Aries way when they're feeling that fire. I need to go do the dishes or something before I'm in trouble. I feel like I'm in trouble. Yeah, exactly. You know what's interesting during those parts of the show is that, you know, I feel like as a married couple and as a co-host, we got to kind of balance each other out. So like if she gets way up like that, I try to come down. So that it's not two people yelling.
Yes.
So
same thing with Roger. Yes.
So I was like, okay, all right, people gonna be feeling the way because they not comfortable with this right now. A black woman is being openly free and angry. I know some motherfuckers turning the volume down and hitting fast forward. DJ Freedom says on Spotify, oh my God, Karen got me crying right now because I feel her frustration. I feel it every day. Fruity Pebbles says Karen was going in and I 100% agree. I feel that same frustration and anger every day. It's been an unending nightmare. Also, I too was disappointed with Roy's answer on CNN. Like you said, Rod, everyone has to tiptoe around white people's feelings and that's terrifying. How can we fix the problem and move forward if we can't admit the truth? It seems to me like we're stuck in an effed up cycle. Man, 100% I'm with you. Like it's people want to make it an individual issue.
Right, it's a collective.
I said this during the lead up to the election and I have not been proven wrong. It's going to make it, everyone's incentive from this point on is going to be to try to appease the unreasonableness that is this administration and the people they have empowered. It's not an individual problem. It's a everybody problem. If y'all, like I said, I still listen to certain, like on the media. I'm so glad I still listen to it because they keep me up to date on like they had a whole series about universities. Guys, if y'all are seeing what these universities are having to do
Probably just to keep shit
to
running.
they're burning everything to the ground just to try to like survive. We're losing because of that. And then the people that have boldly taken a stand, they've just lost everything. Like the people that have been like, not me, I'm standing up for our university. Okay, well, I'm resigning. So-and-so's taking over. Okay, we lost all our funding. We no longer have this department. And my job was to keep all those things afloat. So anyway, it's fucked.
Yeah, and me and Roger talked about this, and I truly feel like this with a lot of the changes in degrees and what degree is considered professional or not.
Yeah.
With all of the changes in the Pell Grants and things like that, a lot of universities are getting ready to suffer because the thing is, what do you make your money off of? You make your money off of students.
Right.
And guess what? When the students aren't showing and opting out of like these 4 years and 2 years universities, when they're opting out of these, where you got to continue to get your certification and things like that, they will feel the pinch of this. A lot of people don't care, but this will eventually impact college football sports.
Right.
And shit like that. Like some of the college football stadiums are larger than the NFL. It's like that for a reason. And so it's going to be interesting to see how all these changes that people aren't paying attention and keep sport out of my football, it's going to directly impact your football sooner or later.
Arlander says the motorcycle movie tangent had me hoping we get a Torque Biker Boys mashup review. Thaddeus says, real shit, Karen. I don't agree with Governor Hot Wheels rhetoric either, but we can for sure try it. Magnus said, that's another thing too. Like, I feel like people don't know how to support certain candidates, right? Because like I don't like the Governor Hot Wheels thing. I don't say it. I don't make fun of it. The man's in the wheelchair. He's a terrible person. Those two things are not a Venn diagram, right? And I don't want people there's people that listen to this that may use a wheelchair or something, and they hear me out here making fun of the fact that this man can't walk because I don't like him. Oh, it's okay to call this person fat because you don't like him, but if it's Lizzo, you gotta be nice. I just think, and people are built that way. I know I'm not going to beat that with our podcast and just change society, but I don't need to participate in it. So when Jasmine Crockett said that, I too was like, man, that's a bad look. But I wasn't out here like, she should step down. See, this is the ghetto shit I'm talking. Like, it was like, that's a bad look. She cleaned it up, moving on. That's it. Like that's the same way that I felt with Biden or Kamala or whoever, where it's like, yeah, I'm not saying the job of my podcast and our opinion is not to tell you these people are fucking perfect. And we're saying despite imperfections, who is the better candidate? That's it. And she was still the better candidate. And she's still a better representative until they took her district away. So like, people don't know how to support while also being able to be critical. If it wasn't an either or, I think you would see people a little less defensive. But we haven't proven we can do either or, where it's like, yeah, I'm critical of this guy, but obviously I support them and I'm with them on 99% of things.
Y'all don't have a track record of that.
Yeah,
you
people
say
find
that and then you just disappear.
Right, people find one thing and they be like, I'm out. Magnus Santos says, Karen, clock it. And lastly, Mocha Mama says, woo, tearing up at my desk. That hurt me to my soul. We love you, Karen. Rod, is there a way to pay for specific content? Like, can I pay to have you do a spoiled movie review for Home Alone 4 and 5? You know how they say I pay money for it? I would literally pay money for that. Not right now, there isn't. I have to, I don't know, man, because I got to watch it.
Now I gotta watch
Man, I don't know, man. I don't know. I do a lot for y'all. I don't know if I want to watch Home Alone 4 and 5. I got good shows I'm behind on.
That's hilarious.
I watch that bullshit. All right, let's get to a commercial break. This has been a long time coming. That was a long one. Just gonna tell y'all now, the AI is definitely getting put in between some sense, because our first commercial break was 20 minutes. Our next one was until 1:47:40. This episode gonna be fucking 3 hours or some shit. It's definitely gonna be. I'm sorry.
It's gonna be the AI. That's why you need to pay the
Get behind the
pay
paywall.
15 if you want the commercial free.
This is crazy. We be doing so much work. We started at 9. It's 11 o'clock because we want to be thorough. We don't want to just ever bullshit y'all, give y'all half-ass content. But goddamn, all right. Lift your head up. Episode 310, 3210 is the episode number. We had 3 comments on this one. Apia says, so complimenting the coach is bad for journalistic integrity in sports. I know it's important to people, but it's still entertainment, as people say. Is this the problem with U.S. media really right now? Not the other suppressing the critical news and so on. A woman being friendly is the problem? That's all I'm saying. And it became an outsized problem because media people are overrepresented on social media. So like, these motherfuckers all in your algorithm telling you how this black woman just is just too much. And it's like, hey man, y'all don't even do Stephen A like this, and he's way worse. Y'all don't even do Pat McAfee like this. Y'all afraid of them people. Y'all don't be calling them out. Y'all want them on your show. Y'all don't do Abby Phillips like this. Like, y'all chill out. Everybody chill the fuck out. This is the violation of journalistic ethics. This is the one? Oh, okay. Sean says, this is why I don't watch male sports journalists. They're too emotional to offer rational commentary. Oh, wait. We were supposed to be against a black woman journalist who had a moment of acknowledging an emotional moment and encouraging someone who she knows to a degree as an individual, but otherwise is better and more qualified than everyone criticizing her. Yeah, you want to know what this made me think about so much? When Stephen A said he don't like LeBron, the fact that that didn't even get as much pushback publicly from these same journalists because they want to go be on his shows. They want him to allow them on First Take. It's a dream.
Yeah, she don't benefit them, so why should she
Yeah,
care?
it's a dream
Right.
for them to be on a platform. For him to say, I will come be on your podcast and talk with you about stuff. So they not going to say shit. Not in the same way they was going at this woman question if she's even a journalist and shit. Next thing you know, you're going to say that the serpent is the villain of the allegory of Eden, and we are supposed to be supporting a tyrannical dictator who wanted to keep humanity in perpetual ignorance and servitude. Sometimes y'all be crazy. EV says, I laughed when Rod said, this isn't Who News when Karen identified Moneybag Yo as a rapper.
I couldn't help myself.
Karen not knowing half these celebrities is part of her charm. I get a kick out of it because I don't either.
Chad, no.
I think maybe I'm just getting old and don't know half these celebrities under 30, especially when the term celebrity has evolved to include social media stars and SoundCloud musicians. First of all, Moneybag Yo is not what? He's not just a nobody or a SoundCloud rapper.
I'm pretty sure he big with it.
He's also not under 30. He's 34. Anyway, okay. Byron Donalds is such a coon. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes out defending the guy who made those racial comments against him and saying that the Democrat who defended him was wrong for speaking out. I know his feet must hurt from all that shucking and jiving.
I know. I was scarred up for them rocks.
Agreed. The poll is, do you feel bad for Byron Donalds' experience of racism? Yes or no? I am shocked at the results. 7% said yes. What is wrong with y'all? 93% said no. I guess y'all would feel bad for anybody. I hear you. You don't let them take your humanity. I hear you. All right, YouTube. The robot hat on the outfit says it's I too smash burger equal trash burger. Agreed. You know how to listen to the show. CHM818 says, that's right, Karen. The American people are not mad enough about the state of affairs. I would love to see a representative of both parties be angry like you, not Bernie. He can sit down. Provocative AF says, what up, family? Dope ass show. Karen standing on business. I felt that shit. I feel the same way. Rob, my guy, y'all the best. Shout out to y'all family. My mom said, Karen standing on political business. Fire. Say that again. And she said, excellent journalism word. Keep your head up and your middle fingers up to the bullshit. Thanks, Mom. Synchro Fly says, I really need to be careful next time listening to your show. In the backgrounds, I take care of tasks around the house. Tonight, I was prepping dinner and peeling an avocado when Rod compared Elon to Krang from the Ninja Turtles. Right? That was good, right? It caught me off guard and I laughed so hard I almost chopped off a finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 10. Yep, all my fingers still there. Glad you made it. Tipsy with Fee says the RuPaul Drag Race shade is real. Nicki Minaj opened up RuPaul's Drag Race season 12, so RuPaul is shading Nicki by having Cardi B be the show's palate cleanser since they mess with Nicki no more. I'm so sure Cardi loved every minute, especially bringing the dolls. Oh, you gave us some inside tea. Ooh, I love it. I love some inside tea. Kim says, we know who didn't have anyone like a Lynn Jones in their lives. Instead of complaining about an act of kindness, they need to work out their issues with a therapist. Honestly, man, what's crazy? I really gained a lot of respect for the way Jemele Hill handled herself, because Jemele originally kind of snarkily questioned the woman's journalistic integrity, and even if she was a journalist, blah, blah, whatever. And, you know, it's the internet. You're giving hot takes, you're seeing clips, and you just say shit.
You actually done your research, yeah.
Not only did Jemele apologize, she went on a podcast and she got to apologize to this woman's face. And then people have been chastising Jemele on threads and all this stuff the whole time, and her replies and stuff.
That's integrity.
Acting like she can't say anything after that. Well, you got it wrong. And honestly, like, I actually have a lot more respect for how she handled it than the way a lot of people did. You know, that AP dude, I don't know if he ever apologized for that shit. Apology. You know, so it's weird just the way that people, their valuation system is all off. There's much more respect for somebody like how Jemele handled it than the people that just stuck to their guns or just went quiet when they realized so many of us was like, man, we do know how journalism works. That's another thing. If one of these niggas explains how a press conference works, like we're all fucking stupid again, shut the fuck up. We're not children. I'm 47. I know what it's supposed to look like.
I've seen enough press conferences, right?
I just know it don't always work like that, and it's never always worked like that, and y'all don't get up in arms around it every time. It's just this time.
Yes, you're right.
And you acting like we're crazy for noticing that y'all crazy about this one time. Like, y'all ain't like this all the time.
No, y'all not.
Ron says, if you haven't watched the show Loot on Apple TV with Maya Rudolph, you should. It's basically a Mackenzie Scott giving away all the money. And Christoph says, politics till we get mad, Karen, is my whole mood for the rest of 2026. Fuck those quitters. Word. Let me check the comments on Spotify. One. Byron says Kevin Hart messed up with that deal. He only has 40%. That's going to stop his partners from getting together and voting him out the company and no longer be able to use his own name.
That's hilarious.
Oh my God. What if he got voted out of his own brand and then he started doing commercials, but he was like, he had to have a new name. Like, he's like, hey, it's me, Larry Smith.
The person formerly known as Kevin Hart.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I feel like he just make another big name. That's just,
you know what? He would make another big name.
He'd be the artist formerly known as.
Yes, and guess what? And I would be right there because he's so big that he'd be like, y'all know what? And what would be funnier is the artist formerly known as Kevin Hart would be actually bigger than the Kevin Hart brand itself.
Right. Actually, yeah, he might want to start over.
Yes.
There's some negativity attached to Kevin Hart that Larry Smith don't have yet. Chris M says, thank you for the ad free. And Debbie Allen Kick says, let's go Bismarck Karen at the 5350 mark. Oh yeah, when I started beatboxing, that was fine. And last episode is why can't Captain Planet be real?
Why?
We got 2 comments on this one. 3211 is the number. Appia says, postpartum depression is weird. I had it, unfortunately, and it wasn't about motherhood sucking for me, but the huge fear of being responsible for the survival of a child. I've never been a mother before. I don't have siblings and was never a babysitter. It got better when the kids got a bit bigger and could somehow do more. EVE says, yes, it sucks that this... Well, hold on. First of all, as a man, let me tell you about that postpartum depression. See... What you need to do.
Boo. If you don't get out of here, tomato, boo.
EVE said, yes, it sucks that this country is in a major crisis and we're basically living in a dictatorship, but I take comfort in the fact that Dump will never win the Nobel Peace Prize. We all know how badly he wants it because Obama has one and you know it eats him up inside, and that he doesn't have it. I guess he got old girl hand-me-down, though. Motherfucker got a Goodwill Nobel Peace Prize.
A used Nobel Peace Prize.
And he was smiling. He was smiling like he was smiling like it was really the world's biggest participation trophy, and this jerk was smiling. Yes, this country is a dumpster fire, but I take consolation in the small victories. And let's see, on Patreon for this episode, what number did I say? Well, why can't Captain Planet be real? Let's see if we got any comments. 2. Oh, okay. Debbie Allen Kick says, white people news intro demo version. I just watched Don't Be a Menace last weekend. It must be in the air. I couldn't believe they had the same woman from Trey's Sex Dream, Boys in the Hood, doing the same scene with Sean. Omar Epps' character getting smoked as soon as he stepped on campus. Why? Keenan as the mailman delivering the message line was a nice touch. The sucker line during Antonio Vargas' porch scene was a nice callback to his Superfly character and I'm Gonna Get You Sucker blaxploitation parody. Oh, you know I know about I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, brother. That's one of the movies that's a staple up in here.
Movies. Yeah, we can still quote a lot of the scenes.
Yeah, absolutely. The brothers went in with guns, but they came out with jobs.
Don't make me hop
After you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Black acting school.
Right. Because you was screaming. No, I wasn't screaming. I was yelling. You want to take the elevator or the stairs? Anyway, the window or the stairs. Where he came out of jail from the 70s Superpop pimp outfit and looked like a fish out of water in that 80s setting. His fishbowl platform boots broke poetry. Then Boo, Ghost M, they gave us Scary Movie franchise. The Wayans are definitely among Hollywood's most significant creative families. They gave SNL the sweats with In Living Color legends. Lastly, the gender war sounded like a sitcom that tries to tackle real issues. Stay dope, y'all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Aaron says, I'm loving these ad-free episodes. The only downside is that my Spotify Wrapped is not going to show the Blackout Tips as my top podcast like it has the last 7 years. Listen, I mean, there's nothing stopping you from hitting play on those and then like fast forwarding through so you get the metadata. But that's just me. All right.
Shh, don't tell them.
Not telling you what to do with your life. I'm just saying it seemed to be a way to work around that. Okay. No comments on Spotify for this episode. And let me check YouTube. I don't know if I checked that. I can't remember, honestly. 4 comments on YouTube. Let's see. Great video as always. The title makes me feel seen. It says a Planeteer. That's their title. Oh, you're a Planeteer, and you could be one too. Cause saving this planet is the thing to do. Looting and polluting is not the way. Here's what Captain Planet has to say.
Child, I got that fucking song memorized.
By your planet, by your powers combined, I am Captain Planet.
Yes.
That was my shit.
Mine too.
Captain Planet, he's a hero. Gonna take pollution down to 0.
Yes.
Looting and polluting is not the way. Yeah, that's my shit. He's our powers magnetized. I forget what. But he's fighting on the planet side.
Yes.
Listen, they don't do it. They don't do it like that no more.
You know what? They will have some things like with words and shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
They don't have bops as the song, the intro anymore. There's a lot of instrumentals and shit.
Yeah, a lot of instrumentals now. Now there are animes with some bops now. Some of them I don't even understand the language, but I'm like, bitch, you singing.
But American, we gave up.
We did.
It's like Seth MacFarlane did American Dad, Family Guy, and Cleveland Show, and then nobody else believes in like a cool intro with music and words. Provocative AF says, "Sup, Ryder Karen? Big up, great show. Yes, I was shocked the pipe bomber was black. Give his ass life for being politically dumb and brainwashed. He probably Stephen A. nephew." At Simply Jinx says, I had a dream, long time listener through Spotify. Today my inbox held a big surprise that made MLK Day hit differently. Patreon, yes, the promised land. Now I can have more fun with y'all. Y'all and the person that provided the subscription, bless you. Patreon, wow, I'm so happy. Now I can see more of your other options for podcasts, Balls Deep, etc. Thank you. Guys, 2026 has been gloomy, but I just got a little sunshine, 5 stars, Black Power emoji, pronounced at Simply G Inc. And then like Canadian flag, Jamaican flag, and I don't know this last flag. Yeah, thank you. And once again, I'll say it again on here. Like I'm not gonna keep saying it, but if somebody donates a premium membership, like a year-long premium membership, I will match it. And that's what I did. I think a couple people had a thing where they wanted to go to Patreon. And so they had already paid for their subscription on our website. And they was like, well, can I donate my subscription on the website and then I'm going to start this Patreon? And I was like, yeah, I'll match it. So when you do that, it's not just one person getting in, it's actually two. We still do have people on the waiting list. So I don't just be like, here one person. It's like, you do it, I'll do it. And so y'all helping people get behind the paywall. Shout out to our community and the Blackout Tips folks looking out for each other. And I'm glad that y'all made at Simply G Inc. I'm glad y'all made their day. Mm-hmm. Jason says, man, that DC bomber was extremely confused. Trump may have invited those folks to storm the Capitol, but you, my ninja, will never be more than a +1. Well, what's crazy is I don't think that defense should work for him because I don't think it should work for anybody, but especially not him. He didn't even understand the assignment. He didn't say blow up the DNC. He said run up on the Capitol. He was all in the wrong place with the wrong shit. He had a bomb. Like,
right. He wasn't following the rules. Everybody else came with like bitter clubs and bear mace.
Right. This motherfucker was over here black people always overachieving.
Right.
Can't do nothing regular.
Even when they're not supposed to.
Can't even overthrow the country without black excellence popping in.
Right. And everybody's like, we should have thought of that.
Right. He gonna throw. You remember when we was putting BL in front of everything to try to act like it made it black, you know. It was like roller skaters, but it'd be like blowler skaters or whatever, like, because we black. He was a blommer. He was like, I'm not just,
oh no,
I'm a blinsurrectionist. Like, you taking it too far. If Macklemore couldn't transfer to a Grammy to Kendrick, nobody was going to transfer a Nobel Prize. Having the plaque doesn't change that. Yeah, this is one of those things, dog. I said it on the show a little bit offhandedly, but I meant it. And goddamn it, if she ain't get that man that Nobel Peace Prize. I said she would do it
because she's trying to save her country,
right? Because like once again, people are gonna make it an individual problem of this lady, and it's like it's bigger than that.
Yeah,
we let
like,
this person.
I don't want these problems.
We let the bully be in charge, and we're like, y'all really running him your lunch money? Well, you made him school president. Yeah.
You made him school president. What the fuck are we supposed to do?
If y'all morals is this strong about this, why is this nigga in charge?
Agreed.
I'm not actually the WWE Intercontinental Champion. I thought the Gender Wars was at least a 5. I thought they executed a poor script well. He was absolutely authentic F-boy. He was a prime Tyler Perry villain, and since she mentioned his taxes, it made sense they didn't show his face. I thought it added a hint of believability. I feel you, buddy. And that's why we do the show, because we are all different strokes.
Yes.
Okay. It's all different strokes. The poll was, have you ever been on a double date? Yes or no?
I don't think.
Yes, we have. Us and Will and his
yes.
Not the woman he married, but his girlfriend at the time.
Okay. Yeah, because I was thinking,
also Keith and Liz.
With other married couples. Okay.
It's a double date.
Yeah, I guess I don't consider that a double date.
Well, it's got to be a double first date? What counts?
No. But then yes.
What? We've done this a lot of times. Us and Turk and Justin.
But then yes, we have been on a lot of double dates. I just think we just kicking it with our friends around, just like, these are double dates.
Chris and his girlfriend when they came down.
Yes, it's a double date.
We do this all the time. Olivia.
In my brain, I don't connect it as being a double date.
I hope everybody
kick it with my friends around, just like, this is a double date.
I hope everybody didn't answer the poll that way. I hope other people.
I hope y'all have more common sense than me at this time, because my brain was like, I'm kicking it with my friend's house. It's a double date.
Karen's like, it wasn't a key party.
right.
We didn't have sex with each other. We didn't
put on masks. What are we doing?
It was a regular date.
It was a regular ass outing. What was we doing?
We just had dinner. We wasn't even fucking them people.
That's what my mind was.
Oh
like, we just went out to eat. What are we doing?
God. That's terrible. Anyway, 60% yes, 40% no. There you go. All right, another musical break, and then we'll come back and do some voicemails, because we did get some.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's do this one. All right. We got 7 voicemails. All right. Well, shit. I guess I can finish my drink.
You sure can. You need some more
Hey
water?
y'all, it's Jen. I listened to your episode today about Matt Rogers and Bowen Yang of Las Culturistas and had to input my lore, the lore that I know, because my worlds are colliding. I used to listen to Las Culturistas all the time, and as y'all know, podcasts, people come, people go. It doesn't necessarily even have to be like an event that people stop listening. Mm-hmm. And for them, it really wasn't an event for me, but I will say I love Bowen. I love him on SNL. I probably will stop watching now that he's not on there, but Matt was always pretty insufferable. And like Bowen, I feel like the reason the show worked was because, number one, it's my favorite style of podcast. Like, it's similar to why I listen to y'all. Like, y'all bring good guests on. They always have like a good guest, and it's a comedian who it's interesting to like know more about their lives, their backstory, and like who they are when they're not on a stage or in a show, right? So entertaining for that reason, but then also Bowen, because he was on SNL, his star was like rising, and it was always like a little bit bigger. Like, people knew Bowen, but didn't really necessarily know Matt. But as Matt's star started to rise, he became totally insufferable, and he was always pretty bad, but like, as he started to like hang out with celebrities, it just became too much, and I was just like, I can't really stomach this every week, because Bowen was on SNL meeting like huge stars every week and really wasn't like talking about it. He was just kind of like, yeah, that's my job, or he'd be like, when I'm at work, like, you know, whereas as soon as Matt got on any TV shows, he was just like, ugh, annoying. So the lore is that a year or so ago, maybe 2 now, Tina Fey came on their podcast, and she was like, y'all need to stop talking about your real thoughts on like movie and TV shows. You know too many celebrities, and you're going to get caught up. And it was like this huge monologue, because their show has this segment called I Don't Think So, Honey, where they like talk about, the guest goes off for 60 seconds about something, and she was like, I don't think so, honey, to y'all giving your real opinions, because you're too famous now. And she's like, Matt, you have like a year before you're too famous to be doing this. So she called that shit. So that's the lore. And now this shit with Matt Rogers, who gives a totally uninformed, stupid, baseless opinion on Jasmine Crockett, which y'all rightfully were upset about, is like very on brand for Matt. But I guess before, number one, they really didn't talk about politics, and number two, it was like innocuous shit where it's like no one really is going to care about the topic. But
Right.
like, why are you even dipping your toe in this? And clearly you're uninformed. So
Right.
that's the lore. That's my opinion. Thanks, y'all.
Thank you for the background on it.
Yeah, I can see that. And Tina Fey, she was looking like, oh, yeah. Like, y'all gonna cross the line, and eventually you're gonna say some shit to piss people off. And, you know, she was giving good advice, but, you know, it's come from a woman, so who knows? They might have just dismissed it.
Also, this is what I feel about a lot of times when we do get a person that writes in and it's like, y'all said this, or what about? A lot of times I'm like, have you tried doing a podcast? Give it a shot, buddy. Give it a shot, because I promise you, the only difference between most of y'all and us, nobody really listening to y'all. So you think you get to be right about everything, but really you just have such a small circle that even when people disagree, for the most part, they just gonna let you cook because you're harmless. They don't think you're, and I don't mean that in a pejorative way, but
yeah, but I'm with you. Yeah,
it's like, oh yeah, okay, so and so has a political opinion, but who gives a fuck? It's 12 of us following them. They'll move it on. I'm not even here for that. I'm here to see pictures of their kids and dogs and what they cooked for breakfast and shit, right?
Right.
But then when you have a whatever this number people decide is a quote unquote platform,
whatever the number is,
now
arbitrary.
You don't get to be your individual self that had an opinion. Now that shit means something to people. So if you being in denial of that doesn't change anything. So like,
no, it does not.
I guess she just told them because she been famous, and she like, hey, y'all hitting that point.
And she also learned. So I guarantee you it's something, and it might not have been as big, but it's something she said off the wall that ended up coming back and bite her in the ass. But she was like, you know what? Never again.
Not to keep going back here, but that was the game I was trying to give y'all about that comment from Roy. Like, at some point, you got to make a decision. Is this shit even worth? Is it worth it to say, you know, something that will shake up everything and piss people off, and have to deal with the fallout, or do you just want to say, man, this is what a great example. Drew Brees did this one time. They were talking about Colin Kaepernick, and he had apparently not kept up with the day-to-day of the Colin Kaepernick situation, how much different it had gotten.
Right.
And he gave the old answer of like, listen, man, I don't disagree with him kneeling. I just think like maybe you do that at da-da-da-da-da. And then everybody was like, what the fuck are you talking about, Drew Brees? Like, that was months ago that we was at this. We at a whole nother point now. And I was like, oh, he didn't know that they weren't, that wasn't the answer you give at this point.
Right.
But like a month ago, he would have been right. Like that would have been, that's what everyone was saying a month ago. Even the most radical people was like, I just don't know why you can't kneel and do such and such. Anyway, next voicemail, like I said, we got quite a few, and some of y'all left multiple ones.
Hey, Rod, what's up, man? I just finished 3209 about Home Alone, Alone at Home. You know, I was listening to that Politics Till You Get Mad section, and it made me mad. I mean, I was steaming. I was hot. I mean, I was kind of a little disappointed in Roy Woods Jr., but then you explained the situation he was in. My question is, why Roy Woods is a comedian, why not make a joke out of it? Why not coon it up and then kind of wink at the audience and, like, you know, tell them something corny like, all we need to do is sit down and eat some fried chicken and cornbread and it'll be all right, you know. But food brings people together. And if we eat good, what can we they'll be our long-term friends or, you know, something stupid like that.
Before we finish this, I just want to say, that would have been way worse.
Yes, it would have been, but that's hilarious.
I
would have got a kick out of it.
I would have died laughing.
But yes, that would have made it worse.
Oh my God, the way they would have fried Roy for that one. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. But okay.
You know, it's funny. It kind of answers the question. You know, he being sarcastic. And, you know, those of us that know get what he really trying to say without him having to really say it. But anyway, that's my perspective on it. You know, maybe he just turn that question back on them and make them the joke for asking the question. But anyway, beyond that, let me see. Then you played White People News, and I really didn't give a damn because I was still mad about politics till we got mad. So I wanted to ask you, what do we have to do to be able to immigrate to that great white country that you be talking about in White People's News? Because I think I might want to leave here and go there. So last thing I'll leave you with is a paraphrase of a Michael Jackson song. All I want to say is that they don't give a fuck about us. All right, I'm out.
Oh man, good stuff as always, Blue Wave Rider. I think honestly, man, it's sad, but there's a lot of people that live in White People News world, black and white. Mm-hmm. It's
just what they talking about.
Basically, you just gotta give up saying any real shit or thinking about politics or talking about anything that really matter to people. And you can go over there. They'll honestly, they love to have you over there. Mm-hmm. They like the idea of diversity of like black, brown people who also just happen to be politically agnostic and don't seem to give a fuck. Like, they'll make room for you to be the black person who's also over here not talking about shit. That I feel like that's honestly what happens on a lot of these shows. Like, when you look at like an Andrew Schultz or Eden Ross or somebody like that, they surround themselves with black and brown people that seem to just kind of be with the shits. Mm-hmm. So it's like we can have Trump on and it's like, hey, we're just kicking it. When I look at Pat McAfee's show, they always got a brother on there that's just like he's never gonna be the brother that be like, hey, it's a little bit racist what just happened there, you know, like. So it's just there's plenty of room over there is what I'm saying.
Yeah, there's plenty of room over there, and then it's a cost if you turn around and open up your eyes and be like, hey, I don't think I belong here, and you start talking out. You got to go. And a lot of times, depending on who you are, they feel a form of betrayal.
Lily left 3 voicemails in a row.
Okay.
3 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes.
Okay.
This better be good, Lily. Okay. Sorry, 3 hours.
Hey, Rod and Karen. This is Lily from Brooklyn. I hope that 2026 so far is kind to you all. We know that it's a dumpster fire for us as the country and the world, but I hope some good things have been happening for you guys. I wanted to take a couple of minutes to talk about Maduro and the whole Venezuela thing. And this is probably going to be a two-message type of thing, but I'm going to try to keep it brief. So I think that I kind of know a little more about Venezuela and their reaction to their political leaders and so on. I used to work with immigrant young people, and many of them were from Venezuela, including a lot of Chinese Venezuelans. So these are people that are ethnically Chinese, but don't speak any Chinese, don't have any ties to that culture, grew up in Venezuela and totally speak Spanish. I had students of different ethnicities from that country. So I've been kind of hearing about it for a while, keeping up with their politics for a while. So, you know, the other day I think you were saying that you really didn't know about Maduro and you didn't want to speak on it, and that's great. That's fine. More people should maybe not speak on things that they don't know. But I don't think that you need to know so much about Maduro as you need to know about what this country did. And Maduro is a horrible person, was a horrible leader for Venezuela, horrible to the people, basically did a lot of stuff that Dum-Dum's doing now. So, you know, when he talks about Maduro, to me, that's just game recognizing game. But I think the thing is, the way we did what we did, the way this country did what it did, not we, but the country, the regime, going in and basically kidnapping this man and then saying that it's because he's a drug dealer when you just let the president or the former president of Honduras out of jail. One of his own lawyers was the main prosecutor on it, and they let this guy out, and it was proven over a course of years that he had been involved in cocaine sales to the United States. So that's the issue, is that, and I know you guys know this, but it's the hypocrisy of it all, and we all know now that it's really about oil. So a lot of my former students I used to work with, they're really happy about what happened to Maduro, but what...
She left another voicemail.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, part two, Lily again. So eyes wide open, because this is not about liberation for your country. It's not about liberation for the people. It's about control. And, you know, these are the same people that just a couple of months ago, the regime ended asylum for Venezuelans here in the United States. They were and are kicking people out of the United States and deporting them back to Venezuela. People who have been here for years, people who are here legally, and so on. So how can the same people who are oppressing you here in this country liberating you in your own country? There's a famous immigration rights activist whose name I can't remember right now, but she basically said, we are here, meaning immigrants are here because you are there, because the United States is there. They are messing up other countries. It's imperialism, it's colonialism, it's all the isms that's not great. So, yes, Maduro is horrible. And by the way, the woman that won the Nobel Peace Prize, she's a conservative. Totally, and the stuff that she's doing now, giving the Peace Prize to Trump and all that stuff, that is not to save Venezuela. She believes in Trump. She had no problem with this administration bombing Venezuelan fishermen and stuff off the coast of Venezuela. So she is not the shining knight in armor that everybody thinks that she is. She's not the brown Latina that's, you know, for the people. She is for herself. She's for herself and the power that she wants to have. So, you know, thank you. Let me get that off my chest. Because I've been listening to so many different people talk about it, and that's just my 2 cents worth. All right, you guys. Adios, as they say in Venezuela. Take it easy.
Well, first of all, thank you for, enlightening us on more stuff. This is one of the reasons I'm glad I didn't talk about it. I don't know any of that stuff you just brought up. I know she won the Nobel Peace Prize, and when she won, it was because she was a champion of democracy. She's a great leader. She defied a dictatorship. She unified the opposition. You're the first person I've heard that's like, no, actually she's a conservative and she's with the, Trump and him doing all the things that he's doing. So you're the first person I've heard say that. My thing is, and I'll still say this just as a person that knows humanity, I don't know how you would even tell the difference between she genuinely supports Donald Trump and she is doing what is best for her country, because that is what the state of the world is. When we have a bully like Donald Trump and our government isn't trying to stop him from what he's doing in Venezuela, I don't know who the fuck would be the leader of Venezuela who's also going to be like, but fuck Trump.
Right.
But like, they're allowing him to seize our tankers and declare and like physically kill people here, and their government is not stopping it. So what am I going to take on the United States government? So I don't even know what that would look like. But yeah, everything you said is just, to me, more confirmation that I'm glad I didn't try to pretend that I know everything, because I don't know everything. And I'm only taking your word for it. Someone could call in tomorrow and be like, actually, that woman's a great leader, and actually I'm from Venezuela and this, that, and I'll be like, cool. It's not necessarily the point. I just know how America works. I know how Trump works, and I know that whatever he's doing is probably not good. She wrote another one.
This is Lily. Last time, I'm really hoping that I can get everything out in this message. Rod, really appreciate what you said about the Roy Woods Jr. thing. I agree with pretty much, I'd say maybe 96% of what you said. The only thing that I do take issue with is that I kind of wish he just didn't answer the question. I wish he had just kind of been like, well, I'm just a comedian, or I'm going to stay in this lane, or, these things are too, complex or whatever, because I guess my main problem was him saying that it was, and I'm not quite sure, I haven't listened. I only listened to what he said the one time when I listened to you guys' podcast, but I think he said something about, once Kamala became the candidate, that's when he thought that Trump would get back in, and it just feels like more dumping on Kamala. So I agree with all the things that you said about all the things that she did and what she didn't do and what she was accused of doing, and it was just great. And I have to say that, I know that's your man's in them, but I just really appreciate that you were able to see why it did bother some people. And love you, Karen, but it doesn't have anything to do with people being mad now. It has to do with what he said, period, Okay. And I think that there's still room for people to not like it and still give him a chance. But to me, what he said really reminded me of George Clooney talking about, I wish they had run a better candidate. How is it any different? So I'm sure y'all won't tell me now how it's different, but in my mind, it's very similar. So, okay, peace out.
All right, the first thing I have to say. Oh wait, no, Karen, you go first. I got it.
Oh, and my thing is this: I would have to. Well, we have to quote unquote agree to disagree, because social media, the platform, is built on anger. And that's what they do. They just go around with their pitchforks and they fry everybody. And when there's nothing else to do, Sal, and you just happen to pop up, you're going to get fried. And so a lot of people are very angry, and they're angry about a lot of various different shit. People are unemployed. Like people are angry about varying different things. And this incident happened when there was nothing else major happening. So a lot of that pent up anger and frustration went towards Roy, and it can't be separated from the anger. Not that everybody felt like that, not that it was all on that, but it did play a role somewhat.
Let me add this for context. That segment started off of someone sent me the video and told me to add Roy to the coon list. So if you start from that point, I think you'll see why we got to this place of like, hey, It's not about him being my man's. I can disagree. I mean, once again, I don't think I pulled any punches. I disagree with the way that what he said, but yeah, I don't think he's a coon. Mm-mm. I wouldn't put him up there with Byron Donald, Stephen A.
No, because he doesn't have a track
all
record.
These people that just Candace Owens. Like, I just think so. When Karen's talking about anger, I think that's what's missing in this equation is when she's like, y'all are doing that because you're mad.
Yes.
There's a difference between like I disagree with what Roy Wood said, no S on it. There's a difference between I disagree with that and he's a coon, and I think that's why Karen's like, yeah, that's just y'all being angry,
right? Because there is a difference, and I want to be sure I mentioned that. That's why I said we're gonna disagree on that one, because I'm like, no, not everybody, may not even be you, but some people are just fucking furious, and this was something to point their anger at.
And lastly, how I don't know. I mean, to honestly say it's different than George Clooney, I'm not 100% sure. I would actually need him to elaborate, because there's a world where Roy is saying, I figured Trump was going to get back in when they said Kamala was the candidate. And it's really just what we're saying, which is that meant they weren't standing behind Biden, and they were going to say this black woman isn't good enough because she's a black woman, and he didn't elaborate, so we'll never know. Right. And they weren't curious to have him elaborate, which I will go back to your first thing, which is kind of I think more people should, and I don't mean this as dodge the question, but throw that question back at those white folks when that question is asked of black people. This happened to us kind of when we did Pete Dominic's show, and he was talking about like the black vote, and y'all know how I feel about the shit. Like, I'm never backing down off of that. So I'm like, oh, I'm glad you brought that up, because this is a thing white people say often, but mathematically it makes no sense. Why are we even focused on, so we're going to take a small percentage of the population, 13% overall. Now we're taking black women out of the equation completely. So now we're talking about like, say, 7% of the population, because we're only focused on black men. Of that 7% of the population, 80% of them voted Democrat, which is how you think they should vote, right? Your greed has us talking about why didn't 100% of them vote that way? Okay, can we compare them to every other fucking type of man on the planet?
Numbers are much lower.
Because I feel like we didn't spend any time talking about the Hispanic male vote, and we have never talked about the white male vote, which always goes a majority to these Republicans. And the only discussion we have about it is, how do we reach them?
Right.
How do we love them? How do we get them back? And yet we get scolded for the black men, right? The 10% or whatever, the 20, let's go 20%, the 20%, let's go 25%. Let's say 1 out of every 4 black men somehow votes Republican. Even though I know that that's too much. How the fuck are we spending 90% of the conversation about changing the votes of America about this small percentage of 7%? It doesn't make sense. And so that's what I said on that show. People are not going to do what I did on that show. Most of them be like, well, you hate to see brothers do that, and you got to step it up. We got to reach out to them. We got to say, what do they care about? Crypto, child support? And I'm just like, no, I don't think they should even entertain this as a topic of discussion.
Nope.
This means nothing to me. It's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like, what? It's just a way to kind of act like we care when we don't.
Right. Stop wasting my time.
Let's have a real discussion. How do we get the 70% of white men back? What's the plan?
What is the plan?
Well, who's educating them? Who's telling them this is against their best interest? Nobody? Right. Okay, so then I don't want to talk about black men. But that's a needle scratch in a conversation. That's not no one shares that clip and goes, man, Rod, he's really right. Because that gives white people some shit to do. So we can never have that discussion. But and the other thing is, Roy is a funny person, but Roy's a very serious, smart person.
Yes, he is.
So, the idea of him turning down a question to me is kind of, I don't think he would normally take I'm just a comedian route for a lot of stuff.
He wouldn't.
Roy is so smart and so thoughtful, and so empathetic, and a dude that does keep it real. So I don't know, man. That question is more like to me feels like for y'all that like sports, it feels like what they do to black quarterbacks. You get into the NFL, you have some success, and then they ask you racism. What about it? And then almost every single time the black quarterback is like, racism. I don't know. I'm just trying to be a football player, not a black football player. And then the black people get mad, like, what the fuck? What's wrong with being a black quarterback? And then later on, as they start to experience all the racism and frustration, they're not really allowed to voice it because, hey, when you were 20, you told us that it didn't matter. Right? So it can't be that's holding you back. So it kind of feels like a setup question to even approach Roy and like, hey man, fix the Democratic Party real quick because they fucked this up.
Right.
The premise is already flawed.
Right. And the thing is, regardless of whatever your answer is or our answer is, it may or may not fix it. You know what I'm saying? Because actually,
if I gave my answer, I'd just be catching heat from a different segment of people.
Agreed.
Like if Roy Wood said what I said verbatim, if he said what Karen said, he'd be catching flack from a different group of people and more than likely losing this show if he said what Karen said. Let's just be honest. We've got 2 more voicemails. This might be a butt dial. Yeah, it's only 21 seconds of silence. All right.
Oh, yeah.
But they called back. So they must have figured it out because it's the same phone number.
Rod and Karen. The funniest show I've heard. I've listened for 10 years plus. We got Home Alone at Home. That episode was so funny. Karen with Joe Tangen saying they have jumped the ship. Y'all talking about the Home Alone series. Had me cracking up. Then Rod, you came back and you was talking about torque. You said a black bicycle game. A black bicycle game. I was cracking up. Karen said, a bicycle game? I mean a motorcycle game. That was so funny. Karen, you got competition on tanks now with that, Rod. And then when you guys talked about, I live in the Bay Area. I live in Vallejo. When y'all talked about the swords people, what they be talking about, the sword people gang, and all of scenarios Rod was coming up with, that was so fucking, I don't know if you cussed.
Yeah, you cussed, of course.
That
We
was so
cuss.
damn funny, man. When the show went off, I gave you guys a slow golf clap. I mean, I've listened 10 years. Like I said, that had to be one of the best shows. You guys are so funny, man. Keep on doing your thing. Kevin Cav from the Bay. Peace out.
Appreciate you, Kevin
thank you,
Cav.
baby.
Oh man, that is hilarious, dude.
Right.
It's one of my favorite episodes we ever done, man.
We were all over the place, weren't we?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite episodes we ever done because it kind of encapsulates so many things about what we do and how we do it and
Yeah, get a mate that can do both. Get mad about politics, but not understand a double date.
yeah. But I like that it's not. You never know what you're gonna get, including us.
No.
So thank you so much for enjoying that. And man, hope y'all enjoyed those tanks. We definitely tanked it up. And the last thing is emails. We got a couple of them. One of them, I don't know if they meant this for Balls Deep. It says Jags Bills. And it's from Andy.
Sound like a Balls Deep.
And so I'm gonna put it in the Balls Deep Sports conversation. So I'll just leave it there. And then the other one was Kaylin, who left us a gender war submission.
Okay.
Do you accept gender war submissions? I accidentally started my own gender wars. I would love to hear your takes on it. Video for submission. Thanks for always making me laugh. I'm going to save it and put it in gender wars.
Okay.
And so next time we do a gender war segment, we will cover yours, Kaylin, and it'll be somebody that wrote the show with their own one. That's it for today's show. It was long, but I enjoyed it. I appreciate the feedback, even those of y'all that one man that thought he was just trying to get the show. Like I'm sorry, but that energy is not something I'm gonna allow to keep happening. So let's just nip that one in the bud.
Because all attention ain't good attention, and I will forever stand behind that.
As always, if we can't have good faith discussions, then we can't have a discussion at all. Because I'm not wasting any time for the rest of my life on. You treat Roy Wood Jr. like Charlemagne does Andy Schultz. That's such a non-starter, and you definitely tried to say that to trigger some sort of hyper-vigilant response. And I won't be a part of that. And anyone listening that has an issue with that, that's the show. Like that's just how it's gonna be. If I'm not putting up with no bullshit for the rest of my life, so
and it's also one of them things, like I said before, because of the topic and all that stuff, and some certain topics kind of move into people's algorithms that normally don't watch us.
Well, let me put this out there though. Many people wrote in to say they also took issue with what Roy had to say.
Yes.
I don't have that response to anyone else.
No.
I'm not asking for, this isn't a cult. I'm not asking for allegiance. I'm not asking for agreement. I 100% respect, especially this space we hold for the feedback show. Mm-hmm. I respect everybody's opinion to come in here as long as we are in good faith.
Yes.
As long as we're respectful, we could come here and talk about anything we want to talk about. But the needling and the trolling and I'm gonna just shit on you, or I'm gonna say I'm gonna lie, I'm gonna frame something in a bad in disingenuous way, I won't be tolerating that. Karen won't be tolerating that. No. So you hate to have to put somebody in the timeout chair, but that's how you get in there. Because come on, man, I'm not wasting my breath on this.
Right, and also, like Roger said, people disagree with us all the time, and we disagree with y'all. Like the person that did the voicemail. Like I said, I didn't completely agree, but I also wanted to
that's my point.
Better explain like why I said what I said.
That's what I like about it, is we can better explain and we can go back and forth. And sometimes even you will get hit with something to go, okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. Mm-hmm. I still don't know shit about Venezuela. I see what she's saying. I don't, I'm not gonna argue with her. But I forget the person's name already, and I'll never see it again. Sad. All right, y'all. Tomorrow we'll have the War Report. Monday night, MLK Day, we're gonna have JL Covan on.
Okay.
And then next Sunday we're gonna have Brandon Collins on. So lots of guests coming up soon. Till next time, I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. Bye, everyone. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.